What?
No, just...
Oh, wait a minute.
What? It's Japan time. So bad about that. I mean, if you look on your clock right now, what time is it gonna say?
11,
I
18
have two
p.m.
clocks that say 11:19.
Well, they're fast by a minute, seemingly.
And your clocks are also wrong because it's Japan time.
I
Seriously,
bet your clocks are.
what kind of clocks do you guys have?
Digital.
Where it won't say
No
Japan time.
No clock is truly accurate.
I mean, time in of itself is a concept, so take that as you will.
It's just a construction of what we believe.
However, we tend to keep time based on like physical things, like we have clocks, and the clocks will degrade over time and become slower or faster with not, corruption in them. So, technically speaking, the time is really never correct, even as a concept.
And I mean, really, the atomic clock, which supposedly keeps the time, like, accurate to the half second, is probably gonna, like, veer off at some point.
The rock?
Veer off, like its original thing.
It has already from its original
It's
state.
going to basically just break, and everyone's going to be really sad. It's going to be like, shit, what time is it?
Well, it's fucking sun up or sun down. It's really not that hard. We have sundials.
Yeah, but sundials are boring.
Yeah, they work, though.
They work, kind of. Not really.
Which, by the way, have you fucking started this shit or not? Because you didn't...
Yeah, I said it was Japan time.
Good.
No, but usually you do the little thing where you sing.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but that causes you guys to mute me, and then I decided not to do it. I can do
Now,
it
did you
right
say,
now
did you
if
say
you really
mute
want.
you or mutiny? Because we're considering both.
Mute you.
Mutiny
John
it is.
Cena.
Oh, we're starting early.
Yep.
Alright, well, welcome to the podcast of fucking, what's it, Monday, June 26th, 27th?
27th, yes.
Yeah.
About to be the 28th.
About to be 28th in about fucking 40 minutes.
Yep.
Why is it we do these things so late?
Because no one's up during the day?
No one's up right now anyway.
No. If you... I've looked... I don't look as often, but I looked once, which means take this with like a fucking package assault. I looked once, and we were all around. I believe at one time at like 5 or 6, we were all of us were up. No one did anything.
I mean, I'm always up at this point. Like, I've just woken up, so I'm gonna be up all night to get lucky.
Similar scenario for me. Except not the get lucky part.
We couldn't get lucky if we tried.
I mean...
We have skewed RNG.
You don't try to be lucky. Lucky just happens to come across you.
I mean, within the context of getting lucky, I think his context probably involves some form of skill.
Skill?
Also, going outside.
Oh, right. Oh, that's the biggest.
I mean, I could sit here and open Counter-Strike boxes, and in that sense, I can stay up to get lucky, but it also fucking drains my wallet, which is currently empty. Because of the summer sale.
Oh, right, that's a thing.
Hey, it's this fucking summer sale week.
Yeah, that's happening.
Also, it's been a while since the last podcast.
Yeah, about a week and a half.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
2 weeks and a half.
Something like that. It's been a while, because I've been busy.
I was out of the country. So, what everyone do since the last podcast?
Well, that's basically how's been your week and 2 weeks and a half. So, who wants to go first? The selection process has begun. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Is that a divergent thing?
No, I'm pretty sure it's a Twilight thing.
Oh, right.
Kill me.
Oh,
I mean,
I can
it's really
try.
hard. I mean, I'm not even gonna make a joke, but nope, dropping it. Bad joke. Bad
What?
joke.
No, please go on.
Nope. All right.
Try
Selection
again.
process.
No, please try again.
Selection process.
So, by order of the main person who runs this podcast and records it and all of that, I do declare that one of you
Are
shall
you
be going
instilling
first.
yourself as some sort of monarch of the podcast?
No,
I believe
because
you.
monarchs are
No,
not
Nick-
elected.
Yeah, I don't remember electing you.
No, they're
Haha.
tribute summoned.
Oh, Chris made it funny.
You did. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, have you guys seen the Treat Toad? The Treat Toad?
Yeah,
What?
it's a new frog support card. It's an XYZ monster. It's kind of mean.
Only a
Anytime your opponent would like to take an action, attach XYZ material, negate said action, then take their card and put it on your field face down.
Uh-huh. Monster effects, spells, trap, all that. If they want to do anything, it can be negated and put face down on their field.
I have no idea what you just said.
Basically, you want to activate Dark Hole to get rid of their stuff. Well, nope, they just straight up negate it, and then they set it down to their side of the field. So now you gotta worry about the fact that your Dark Hole is going to fuck you later.
So, it's a rank 2 frog XYZ. Alright? 2,000 attack. Or 2,200, I think.
Thankfully, it's not fucking generic. That would be horseshit.
But it is kinda broken, because if you... rank 2s are pretty easy to get. And if you get 3 of those out, your opponent can basically do nothing. At all.
Getting
Yeah, but then
three
you
of
have
those
3
out
fucking frogs on the field.
Yeah, but the
Getting
thing
3
is,
of
that's
those out
all
is
you're gonna need.
virtually impossible.
Do they negate
Getting 3 of
monsters?
those-
Yeah, monster, spell trap, any effect.
Well,
can
just
negate
get a
it.
beater then. I highly doubt these frogs are strong.
They're only 20. They're 2,200 attack, 0 defense. Although good luck getting them in defense position.
Yeah. Plus, you can also use something like a mage power to buff them. And it works pretty well because...
United we stand.
That too, actually. Because you just take whatever your opponent's using, put it face down in their field, and hey, now you have another spell trap that
With
gets
that
buffed
is
with mage power.
the thing of that is that you
People
only
have already.
so if you're running shit like mage power and United we stand, you're already using up 2 slots.
Yeah, you're not gonna generally run those two. Again, going back, the only field spell worth running is pretty much Moon Mirror Shield.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
You get all the battle stuff you want. You won't get as much damage as you want, but it's
it's
a better bet.
I had to make sure of this. Basically, the Jinzo test. So, assuming you summon this frog and your opponent plays Bottomless Trap Hole, I'm assuming the frog can't do anything in response.
Since it's technically not summoned yet.
No, it can.
Oh, it
Bottomless
can?
Trap Hole requires the monster to be summoned as full
right.
trap holes. However, if you use something like one of the Solemn cards to negate its summon, it can't do anything there.
All right, next question.
Even then, I'm gonna further delve into this. Even if you have one on the field and you're about to summon another one, and a Solemn card comes up to negate the summon of the next one, you can't even use the one you already have due to the way spell speeds work.
All right, next question then. Assuming you have a skill drain. Well, I mean, of course, let's say you activate... I mean, I guess when you activate a skill drain, it's about, fucking Breakthrough Force and shit. I assume they can negate all that.
Breakthrough skill?
Yeah, that thing. It's been a while.
I mean,
You actually haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, here's the thing. You activate Breakthrough Skill. If the tree toad's already on the field, they can negate that. And then get it for themselves.
I mean, if the frog activates, I assume they can only activate once per turn, so they activate, you can use break.
Once per turn for each frog.
Yeah, okay, so that's a thing. Just
Yeah.
generally stop it like you do everything else. Bait it out and then fucking destroy it.
Yeah, essentially. It's just essentially a meaner. It's basically like Sidra Infinity.
Fuck that thing.
You bait it out and then you destroy it. The only thing that's more annoying about it than Sidra Infinity is it doesn't require a step to go into it. It doesn't require it. Well, neither does Infinity, but it's just easier to go into Infinity that way. And whatever it does negate the first time gets set on their side of the field. So you're gonna have to you're gonna have to extra think on what you're gonna ask them to negate, because you don't want to be like, dark hole. Oh nope, just kidding. They have my
Basically
dark
need
hole
to
now.
fucking dark hole and then fucking breakthrough skill.
You're gonna need a combination of cards to be able to deal with the tree toad, yes.
You need one negation and one destruction that they're gonna have to fucking stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
kind of
you're-
ridiculous to ask, to be honest.
Well, I mean, again, it's a low level card, so I mean, depending on the deck that you're fighting, there's going to be certain cards that you can give them that they're not going to be able to use.
Like, if you have a, like, search this specific card, then they're not going to be able to use that because it's probably not in their deck.
Ah,
And if it advances your game state, they might negate it anyways.
so basically saying play archetypes, because then other archetypes can't take advantage of your fucking archetype cards.
Basically.
Uh,
But
Yeah,
could you
except for-
imagine
yeah.
a toad versus a toad that's toading a toad that's already toaded a toad?
that's basically the Stardust Dragon argument.
Like,
Basically,
people-
whoever
people
activates
have
first loses.
people have already built a deck based around this that is actually up in Nick's alley. He might have already net decked the fuck out of it.
I have not
not
made
sure.
a treat toad deck yet.
All
That's
right.
kind of
Well,
like
there's this people made this deck that has monarchs, tree toad, and then I think it's Zulkin. It's the weird synchro monster that if you set a card to your field, you can special summon a dragon. I used it like once against Nick, and then the synchro deck destroyed me.
I do not remember it.
Well, like I would just set a card and then boom, I have Crystal Wing now. How's that?
Oh, well then.
I get free. Yeah. So essentially,
I remember it now. Yeah.
essentially what the deck attempts to do is it attempts to get Tree Toad and Zulkin out as fast as it can. Then with Tree Toad's effect, you can actually proc Zulkin's effect to summon a dragon during your opponent's turn. So more dragons, more stuff, less fun for opponent.
Sounds amazing.
All right then.
So,
Yep, it's right up Nick's alley too.
it sounds nice anyway.
Fucking frogs. Can you lick it and get high? That'd be
Uh,
great. Can you imagine if they laced the card with like LSD?
Go.
Be so fucking expensive.
It would. But it would be so worth it, right?
Like that Hypnotoad.
Ooh, even better.
All right. So weeks.
Yes.
Who wants to
Iggy.
go first? This is going to be a while. We've all had shit happen.
What's the laugh for, Chris?
I think the laugh means he's ready.
All right, go ahead.
No, Nick should go first. He went on the cruise. He had the most exciting. He probably has the most
Which-
exciting.
Yeah.
Which is
He
why
went on
we
a
should
fucking
save
ship and
it
had
for
to deal with little
last.
shits. Yeah,
Oh,
no, I want to
no.
hear this.
All right, fine. Yes, I went on a cruise.
Where'd you go?
Gulf of Mexico, I think it was. We went to. All right, so let's start from the beginning. All right, this is
In the land before time, there were dinosaurs.
In the beginning.
overall the entire trip took 9 days, 7 days on the cruise, and then 2 days for travel between the cruise and my home. So the first day, I don't sleep the night before. Everyone else in my family wakes up at like 5 to, get ready and get on the plane. I think our plane was leaving at like 8. So we get there, no problems. We get on the plane. The plane goes from Arizona to Texas, and then from Texas to San Juan, which was the port where the ship was. And we leave a day before the cruise actually sets sail, so that way, if there are any like delays or we miss a flight or something of that sort, we are not stuck outside of the cruise, because cruises are expensive and you don't want to miss a day of it. And if we had missed like the cruise, actually setting sail, then we would have had to fly to the next place where the cruise was headed, and it would have just been a pain in the ass. So we get to San Juan a day early. But before that, both plane rides were fine. There wasn't anything special. On the second flight, though, they had in-flight movies for free. Like, I watched through The Martian and Birdman, the Virtue of Ignorance. The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, that's what it's called. Liked both movies. They're pretty great.
Yeah. I'm gonna interrupt you here for a
I have
side
no idea
sec
what those
first.
movies are.
They're movies. I mean, I watched The Martian. I don't know about the other one, but when I went to the Philippines, I also had free movies on flights.
Ooh.
Which, while interesting, I did watch some movies. Half the time I was on most of the time I was on my 3DS, so I was just like,
oh yeah,
it's in hot shit.
like during most of my downtime, I had podcasts running, but when I ran out of podcasts to listen to, I ended up listening to just Eurobeat and whatnot. The good stuff.
Yeah, supposedly.
So yeah, second plane ride was fine. We land in San Juan. We go out for dinner. Get like fish tacos.
Wasted?
I mean, I think the drinking age in Mexico is 16. I know my sister got drunk.
How old's your sister?
19, and I think it's 18 with parental consent in Mexico.
Yeah, other countries really don't have the problem with alcohol like we do.
Or San Juan, anyway. Or
Want to go to fucking Italy?
no.
Sure toddlers can get wasted there.
No.
I have no actual fucking information.
The drinking age in San Juan, I think, was 18, but on the ship, it was 18 with parental consent to be able to, drink. So we go out, we get food, we come back to the hotel we're staying at, and the room was small, alright? There was a bed and a chair, so I didn't want to, I didn't want to sleep in the same bed with someone else, which would have been my dad, because he kind of, snores and farts in his sleep, and it's not a very nice, he also rolls around, it's not a very nice experience sleeping in the same bed as him. So I sit on the chair to go to sleep, and this fucking chair was the comfiest fucking chair I've ever sat in, ever. I slept like a baby. It was awesome. Oh yeah, and by that point, I was up for 44 hours because I didn't sleep the night before, and I didn't actually sleep on any of the plane rides. So I was up for quite a while. And so
just have to be on loop for fucking 18 hours.
I told you, podcasts, and then when those ran out, you're a beat.
I don't know any podcasts you listen to, because podcasts usually run for an hour and a half. Unlike ours, which lasts for 4 fucking hours.
I know, right? I was not keeping up with the Rooster Teeth podcast or the Patches, so I just downloaded a bunch of those, and then...
Aspen was pretty good.
The Rooster Teeth? Was that Apple Ag, or...
Pseudodicks.
I've not seen that one.
Good.
Anyway, we wake up. We apparently this was the wrong hotel. Like, it was the right hotel that we booked our stay at, but apparently the right hotel was all the way on the other side of the bay, which is where the ship actually was. So the original plan was to stay at that other hotel and then just walk down to the boat and with all our luggage and such. But it turns out that going to this wrong hotel was actually better because it was like a 2-mile walk from the other hotel, which was on the right side of the bay, to the ship, and carrying all the luggage with us would have been a pain in the ass. Oh yeah, so
You could have gotten a taxi.
No,
That's a thing.
Like, the other hotel was also more expensive. We found out later, so it was also the taxi ride was $30 for the 6 of us. Oh yeah, it was me, my sister, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, and my grandfather who went on this cruise. Just to
Holy shit.
lay that out there.
You have a fucking sister?
Yes, I do.
Every time you bring up your sister, I completely forget you have a sister.
We all have sisters here. Iggy does, Chris does, I do.
Wait, Dominic does too?
Yes!
Yep.
Fuck.
Remember that Maid card game that he brought?
That's for sisters.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that now. Wow.
Anyone else have another sibling we don't know about? I'm pretty sure Iggy has a brother as well.
Yep.
What about respective ages? I'm the oldest. So I have fucking seniority privileges.
I am the youngest.
Middle.
What are you, Dominic?
Middle.
Middle? Well, that can't be fun. Where do the other two lie?
Sister's
Sister
older.
oldest.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem, right? That could be a problem.
Not really. I mean, she's at the point where she just fucking does whatever the fuck she does. She's got a fucking fiance and all that.
Ooh, she actually interacts with other human beings. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, she always has. She's been the type that just go out and do shit. She used to be in a fucking maid cafe.
Ooh, even better. So,
Weird.
I'm gonna ask the real question here. Have you ever heard her and her fiance boning?
No. What kind of question is that?
I don't know.
You couldn't come out with a better thing. Have you heard them having sex?
I mean, I feel like it's weird if he just flat out says that.
No, I mean, it's weird if he says. It's weird that he's even posing the question, but he had to go with the boning route. Have you heard them boning? Come on, if you're gonna do something like this, you might as well just go straight to the point and not go boning.
I don't know. I've only met him really once.
You said that before you moved into your new house, that you were on the same floor as everyone else. You said that before you moved into your new house, you were on the same floor as everyone else. I was like, hey, maybe you heard them boning. Who knows?
I don't think they stayed in the same room.
Oh, all right.
Valid question, albeit, but no.
Okay.
Sorry to ruin your fantasies.
Well, I had to ask. Anyway, cruise. We get a taxi, we get there, and everyone wants tips, by the way, if they help you at all. Which, I get it. They help. Oh, yeah, here's a tip.
They pursue tips?
I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but on the way back, this guy helped put our luggage in the cab that we were taking to the plane, or the airport, and he didn't even drive us there. He was just some random guy who was like, hey, money. He wasn't even the cab driver, and then he just stayed there, and the cab driver took us.
Did you give him a tip?
I mean, yeah, at that point, he'd already helped you, oh, I didn't know, but I guess, fuck it, here's money. Back to getting on the ship, apparently my mom has taken a lot of cruises in the past, with her girlfriends. There was, this group of 8 friends of hers that they all went on cruises, every year.
Oh. Ding.
Ding-a-ling. Oh, shit.
Someone die?
Hang on. You guys talk.
Oh, I guess someone's dying.
Something did die, actually.
What?
Talk. I'm texting.
Wait, what?
Talk,
Okay,
I'm
then.
texting.
Well, apparently Nick's going through a family crisis. So,
It's not my family.
oh, okay, apparently, well, it could still be a family crisis if it's like a close family friend or something. I guess fucking, I don't know, this is the most interesting thing that's happening right now. Fucking, what? Chris, did you
What's
do
up?
anything interesting while everyone else was fucking off and doing shit?
Okay, I'm done.
Wasn't
Never mind.
Nick
So,
stuff?
Paul.
There's Nick. Just kidding.
So Paul was supposed to be on the podcast tonight, but his sister's cat died, and his sister's
Oh.
cat had been with them for like 10 years.
Oh,
So he spent
Mittens, no!
the last like hour or like 2 hours just talking with his sister.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
So
I
have a story.
understand, like, okay, you go first.
Fuck your stories. Alright, so my sister got this Chihuahua when we like moved it. Like, I've moved houses like a couple times. I lived in Queen Creek for a while. Then I moved to Phoenix. Then I moved back and forth from Phoenix and Scottsdale. Now I moved back and forth from Phoenix and Tempe. When I moved to Phoenix, my sister got a Chihuahua as like a present. So she kept this Chihuahua. She had this Chihuahua, and it was fantastic. We already had another dog. We had like a
I
lab
don't
mix.
know if Chihuahua and fantastic is usually words.
Dude, I mean,
Chihuahuas are like
it's
fucking-
just the.
They're a bundle of nerves and annoying sounds. That's usually it.
But-
I mean,
But sometimes they're chill.
they're just
No,
they're
they're never
like,
chill.
They're just like any pet, you know. You get used to it, and you're just kind of like, yeah, this pet's pretty fucking great. Anyways, so she gets the Chihuahua. We already had a Labrador Retriever, but luckily they got along. Luckily they got along pretty well, so we didn't have to be like, well, now we have to figure out what we're gonna do with one of them. So they were able to basically coexist, but due to my family, they had to coexist happily for the most part outside. You know, they were allowed inside. Sometimes they were allowed inside. They actually slept inside the house, but like for the most part, like while me and my sister were like away out at school or something, they would be in like the backyard. So in order to keep the Labrador Retriever mix was very, very hyperactive, and it could jump our backyard fence, and had done so a couple of times. So eventually we resorted to. Yeah, it just jumped the fence. People were walking. Something got its attention while walking behind in the alleyway, and it just fucking straight up jumped the fence. He never like left the neighborhood, so like we would come home and like it'd be like, oh look, our fucking dog's in the front yard, great. So we got these chains that like there was like a spike
Kinky.
you would drive into the ground, and then like a chain you'd attach to the dog. And so we got them for both dogs because it wasn't I don't know, it wasn't fair, I guess, for the Chihuahua to not be chained up. Come home one day, and it turns out that the Labrador got its chain around the Chihuahua and destroyed it.
Oh!
Wait. As in, like,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the details. I never saw the dead body, because this is like back when I was young. This is back when I was pretty young. So like my parents were like, "No, this is not shit you should see."
It strangled it to death with its chain.
Yeah, they put it in a bag, and they told me that the whole chain thing they told me like they told me like the chain stuff, but they didn't like go into like details or anything. So I was just so like we were just kind of like, oh, um, but like this was what this is gonna become important. But at this point, like my mom was out on like a trip or something, so she wasn't present at the house. So
Oh.
this was my sister's dog. So my grandpa, and my dad dig a hole in it for bury it, and yeah,
That's
now
not
in
what
there
you
it
do, though.
lays. There it lays. We didn't. We actually even didn't do any special. We put it in. They literally put it in a garbage bag. Forced me to help dig a hole. Put it in the hole, and then buried it. And then we threw the doghouse over it.
Oh,
Has it been
my
there ever
gosh.
since?
I believe it's there. I know our Labrador Retriever mix has dug around there before, so I'm not even sure if it's truly still there. But moving on in the story, so my sister is pretty beaten up over this because this was her dog for a while, and this is like her dog. The Labrador Retriever mix, that was a family dog. You love the dog to pieces, but when it's like yours, it's not any. I don't know. I haven't lost anything that I truly cared about. I mean, I lost a pet before, but it wasn't one I truly cared about. So I was kind of I'm not sure how that works, but she was pretty broken up about it. Like she was just crying like all day. So later on, my mom's still on the trip. We go on the off chance it could cheer my sister up. We go into like one of like the pet rescue places, and we see a dog. We see this dog. It's a little black lab mix, and it's a puppy, and there's two of them, and so we asked to like see one of them, and so they let us see it in like a room, and we're all like getting to know the dog and stuff, and my sister's kind of a little happy, she's still broken up that Moby's
And
gone,
then
but
your lab mix comes in swinging a chain and chokes the dog out.
Dude, I wish that would have made for a much better story. Anyways, so she I don't know. My sister really loves animals, so she like this dog and stuff, and she's like loving it. And eventually she just like asked my dad, "Hey, can we take this dog home?" So since my mom's out of town, my dad has to like call my mom. And this is where the story gets a little bit fuzzy, because I'm not exactly sure if I don't remember if he reached her, and if he did, the conversation didn't get nowhere. Long story short, we get the fucking dog. And here's the big kicker part of this story. You want to know when we got this dog?
Christmas?
This new dog?
July 4th?
No. We got it the day after the Chihuahua died.
Oh.
There's the so that drove some people kind of like, some people in my family kind of like, what the fuck are you thinking?
I mean,
Girl's
it's not
dog
the
died.
worst thing to do.
Like, gotta fill the void, right?
Gotta fill the void. But like, a ton of my family members were like worried about like the whole grieving process, because like
Just forget it.
legitimately one day of her crying, "Oh, get a new dog." Like they were like seriously worried that this could like emotionally stunt her, I guess. Like she would not care about death. So it's just like, eh. But it's just, yeah. So that's that.
All right.
That's
So,
my
I have a similar story. Not with like fucking
Good.
chains and death, but I had a dog who was like a fucking, I think he was a pit bull horse mix. It was a weird fucking dog. Like his head was way too fucking big for his body. It was the derpiest looking thing, but it was really cute. And I owned this dog for a really long time, but I think a few years ago, like 5 years ago, it became like, I think it had cancer. So, of course, we had to put the dog down. But the thing was, like, you know, everyone else was really beaten up over it. And this is my dog. But I'm like, I completely understood the situation. I was like, yeah, that just happens. There's no real reason to be sad. Sure, the dog's dying, but what could have been done?
Were you crucified for it?
Hold on a second.
Time's up. Been more than a second.
All right, so that's. You see, I've gone through the whole dog death thing, and like, it's not as much of a big deal to me. Like, death happens. I feel like I was weird as a kid because of that.
I'm the same way.
Death has never really bugged me in the way it seems to bug everyone else. I'm not trying to be an edgelord, mind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
yeah,
here.
it doesn't affect me. I like, you know, I mentioned that I did have a pet die, but like, we were practically neglecting the damn thing, so kind of half expected the thing to fucking perish. Yeah, I had a pet die, and then, while I was in the Philippines, I got to see a fucking dead body, and his brains were also spilled out onto the highway, and I was
Hey.
like, oh, that's a fucking. Oh, I was like, oh look, it's a dead. It's a person on the ground. What the fuck? Oh, that's his brains. Cool. And then I moved along with my fucking day.
I think I told the story of how I found a body like behind my backyard. I'm pretty sure I told that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've found a dead body as well.
Yeah. I have not experienced the death of a pet, so can't really talk on that front. But, you know.
It's something.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I mean, even if you're really emotionally attached to the animal, as soon as you realize death fucking happens, it's not as big as an impact as you might fucking think. For some reason, some people just really don't get that.
Like, it's not the end of the world. It's just a natural thing of life that occurs. Like, there's no way to stop it. It's an inevitability.
I guess, yeah.
So, back to my week,
Some
I
people
guess.
can't cope with that. Oh, yeah. Talking about your cruise, did anything die on the cruise?
Not that I know of. So, we get on the ship. By far, the most enjoyable thing about the cruise was the food. They had buffets and all that. It was delicious. Like, they had burgers, sausage, fries, taco bars, fajita bars. They had cheesecake. They had oatmeal raisin cookies. I tried one. They're actually really delicious.
It really depends on the quality of the oatmeal raisin cookie, but generally oatmeal raisin's pretty shit.
Like, depending on the amount of time the oatmeal raisin cookie was out, it would change its hardness. So if it had just come out, it was really soft, which is great. But if it had been sitting there for a while and it was somewhat hard, that was also great. Like,
Oh no.
like the different varieties of oatmeal raisin were actually really good.
Hard cookies in general are really bad.
Really?
I really just like really hard cookies.
I mean, if it's so hard that you can't actually, break it, then yeah, that's way too hard. But if it's hard enough to where you have to bite into it just a little bit, that's the kind of cookie that's like it for me. Also, really gooey cookies also do it for me.
I really like chewy cookies are what I do. I make cookies a lot.
I like both varieties. So we got on the ship, and we after
Was it shit?
a little. So after we get on the ship, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go explore the ship, which I did a lot. Like, I must have walked maybe like a total of 40 miles on that ship. Like, I think I used an elevator.
Taking a long time to ponder this.
I think I've used an elevator like one time, and that was like the first like time we got there, and then I didn't use the elevator at all, and I just walked around the ship like most of the time. Like I would obviously, yeah, I would obviously sit down places and just relax and watch people, but a lot of the time I would just walk around the ship and explore it, see what's going on where. So, at about 5 o'clock, the ship sets sail at 4. So, at about 5 o'clock, an hour after the ship actually sets sail, message on the intercom like, hey, in 30 minutes we're gonna be having an information session that's required by international law. If you do not come, then you will be in trouble, you dinguses. And so
how did they regulate that? Was it like a sign-in thing?
So you get this card, which is basically your room key, what they charge if you buy anything on the ship, that thing. And on it, there's this like letter number arrangement, like D23, A1, B15.
You sunk my battleship.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And those refer to lifeboat stations, where if for whatever reason the ship goes under, that's where you go to get on the lifeboat and off the ship.
It's the Titanic.
I assume
it
was like relative to your
sleeping quarters,
where like you were staying. Like if your room was closer to the front of the ship, your fucking lifeboat was closer to the front of the ship. They had no wonky like, oh look, your room is at the very front of the ship, but too bad for you. Lifeboat's at the back. So when the ship goes down, you're gonna have a bad time.
I don't.
Pretty
think it was
sure that's
actually
probably coordinated.
I don't think it was actually set up that way though, because the lifeboat place that I was going to was at the back of the ship, but my room was at the front of the ship and also 2 floors up.
Oh.
So
you're Titanic, you were boned.
Yeah, basically.
You were going to have a bad time if this ship went down.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like all my DS, my 3DS, my phones, like all those would get wet and that would suck shit. Like what am I gonna do?
You're gonna find a pot of rice as quick as you can and dump everything in it.
Very true. Anyway,
you know how to fix this thing. You should just put a bunch of rice on it.
Hey, it works for the Asians.
So, I'm gonna sidetrack again.
Do it.
Again, when I went to the Philippines, we did a bunch of stuff. There's like these islands on the side, even though the Philippines is just one giant island, so there's a bunch of tiny little islands. And so we were going to those islands, but the Philippines at this point is like a third world country, and so the boat was very, very rickety, and so we get on this boat, but nobody told me like, hey, we're gonna get on a fucking weird, rickety old boat. Maybe don't take your shit. So I get on with like all my electronic shit. I have my 3DS, my phone. I have my backup DSi. I have all my fucking games as well. So as we're heading to the islands and on the way back, every time the boat would even slightly tilt, I was just like, I am going to fucking just die. If this boat tilts, that's it. That's it for me. I'm just gonna swim straight to the bottom of the ocean and be like, fuck it, I'm done.
I mean, when you lose all your electronics.
So that was the thing. Luckily nothing happened though, and I was just like, yes.
And then you have to take the trip back though.
Oh no.
Yeah. yeah, then I took the trip back, which was less frightening, but still very very like every time the boat moved too far, it was just like, just don't flip over. This is not fun. I don't want my
Rock the
stuff to
boat.
get
Don't
wet.
rock the boat, baby.
No, don't
I
rock
just
the
don't
boat.
want my I just don't want my stuff to get wet because I will be super super sad, and then this trip is
You'll
basically
be like the
ruined.
ocean, you'll be wet and salty.
Eh, if I want to do that, I could just go to the local pool and open up YouTube and go to the comment section.
Yo.
Much
So,
salt.
my dad is
So much.
an asshole when he's drunk.
Oh.
Like,
Alright,
And
there's a few
so are
types
most
of
people.
assholes. There's punchy asshole, and then there's annoying asshole, and then there's like fuck off assholes. There need to be a little bit more specific on that.
okay, when I say he's an asshole, he's he loses his like motor skills and talks very slurredly and loses any like idea of like a filter. So
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
my dad was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get drunk on these days. The first day we're there, I'm gonna get smashed. Then on the third day, which is an at sea day, there are two types of days on a cruise: at sea and on an island. If you're on an island, well, you're on an island. If you're at sea, you don't
No.
go to land at any point during it." So he was like, "Okay, I'll get drunk this day, at sea, and then the last day. Because why not?" And so on the ship, you have to actually, if you want any soda or alcohol or any of that, you gotta pay for it. You know, all the food and stuff, that's free, except there's like this one special place where you're like, "Oh hey, $30, you can get this Italian food." Yeah, fuck you. So I think it was like $100 a day for alcohol, unlimited alcohol, by the way, but still alcohol. Or you could just like buy individual drinks. So he got the pack, and he made great use of that because he like it was well worth it anyway. So first day we're there, the intercom comes on like, "Hey, go to your spaces and whatnot." So we go there, and there's this lady there who, you know, checks like, "Oh hey, what room are you in?" "I'm in this room." "All right, check. You go stand over there with everyone else." And I'm like, "Okay." So I go over there, like, "Hey, my family's there. Cool, why not?" Go stand with them. So the presentation starts, you know, the intercom says, "All right, so listen to the people who are there, and they'll talk to you and whatnot real quick." So they start. Chris?
But
I hear that too.
Yeah. What's going on with you? Whack. Microphone line.
what's happening?
Microphone.
I hear like a background noise, like a video.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
No way you hear an actual video.
All right.
What?
Unless you,
I mean,
unless you can hear it this.
It stopped
Do you
now.
hear like a light? Stopped? Huh.
Yeah.
I got a new fan, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I got a new fan. It's a tower fan. It's an upgrade over my tiny circle fan.
Ooh.
I
Right.
had a recent upgrade to a tower fan as well. It's really good.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
nice.
It lets me live through the fucking summer.
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
How fancy. So,
It's just a tower. Mine's just a tower. Although it has, again, more sidetracks. Hooray!
I have a tower fan and a ceiling fan, by the way.
As do I.
So my fan has all the standard fan features, I guess. Different speeds, a timer. It's a tower fan, so it can rotate or stay on one fixed point. But for whatever reason, mine has a breeze feature, where if you so choose, instead of it being on like a set one of the preset speeds, what it'll do
Yeah,
is
it'll
like,
fluctuate.
yeah, it'll fluctuate, and it seems to me like absolutely
Stupid.
useless feature.
Yeah.
I don't want my fan to fluctuate. I don't want to have to like be dealing with not having to worry about it, and then suddenly it's like time to turn it up to 11, and then it friggin' blasts, and then I have to worry about my papers and such. I'll just keep it at one level, and it'll stay at that level, and I'll just deal with that. Like the breeze feature, the fluctuations, just it makes zero sense, and I don't know why anyone would want it or use it.
It's personal preference. Like
I've had that before with the breeze thing. It's horrible. Mainly because I always want it on full blast because it's so fucking hot here.
I usually
Yeah.
have my ceiling fan on 2, and then my tower fan on 3. Which 2 is like both of them work on a 1, 2, 3 scale. 3 being the most powerful.
I have during the day while I'm present in my room, I keep it at a 1 because my thing makes a shit ton of noise, and I don't like that. I want to
Same
listen
here.
to my videos. I want to listen to my videos. Damn it! So fuck you. You're staying at 1. It keeps me cool enough during the day. But like, if I'm going out with family, or I'm about to go to bed, I crank it up to 3 because I can live with that while I'm sleeping. Or if I happen to not be in my room.
Yeah.
That shit cool. I don't need to come back to a hot room.
You don't need a
This
sauna
place
in your home.
sucks.
It's,
Arizona sucks.
I
Nah,
guess. Like,
I don't know.
I'm fine
I don't
with
know.
the heat. Like,
Yeah, it
it
comes down
doesn't.
to personal preference.
Yeah, it
Do you
doesn't
want
bother me
heat?
at all.
Do you want heat? Do you want to freeze?
But it's a dry heat. Oh, fuck yourself.
At least
I
it's
don't
not
care what
humid.
kind of heat it is. It's fucking hot.
At least
Yeah,
it's not
well-
humid. All right, that would suck.
It could be hot or it can be cold, and during the winter you have to deal with snow. And there's thankfully no snow unless you happen to live
Flagstaff.
in like Flagstaff.
Then there's snow.
What kind of fucking name is Flagstaff?
I don't know.
By the
Any
way,
of you
Nick,
go to
you're
Flagstaff?
cursed.
Yeah. So, I've never been to Flagstaff. So my
You've never been to
cruise.
Flagstaff? All right, Dominic.
I've been to
Have you been to
Flagstaff.
Flagstaff?
I went to Flagstaff specifically in the winter.
Could you repeat that? Nick was sneezing.
Coughing.
I went to Flagstaff specifically in the winter. So yeah. I'm aware.
Do you like go every year or something, or did you guys?
Oh no, it was just I happened to go.
Okay. My family used to go about every year, but again, you know, I'm not the nicest of people, and for whatever reason, my parents decided that we would take actually take a large group of friends, not a large group, but definitely a lot more than we should. Definitely a lot more than we should ever take. Basically, it was like we took like one cousin, a daughter of one of the daughter of one of my mom's friends, and then one of my childhood friends. So we had like three people sleeping over, but we had three people sleeping over. And additionally, for whatever reason, my sister liked to crawl into my room in the middle of the night. So that was additional. So, and decided that it would be a good idea to force everyone to sleep in my room, which was
Why?
yeah. I mean, I have a bunk bed. I had a bunk bed at the time, so I can kind of understand why. But it was like a little kid bunk bed too, and so like my cousin and the female friend's daughter were slightly older, 3 years older. So it's just kind of like super awkward, and basically like we would all have to sleep at the same time, and you know, I'm super excited. I can't fall asleep, so I try talking to anyone. Eventually, I get booted out of the room.
Nice one.
fucking kicked out. But all's well
Wow.
that ended. All's well that ended. Well, the next day we got a Flagstaff, and I also happened to beat the main portion of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Woo!
The DS, one of the DS ones. I managed to fucking beat Dialga.
Woo!
Dialga fucking sucked, because I'm gonna go even more into a tangent. Fuck everyone. Dialga was very annoying, especially because in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series of games, you don't evolve. So you're stuck with your base fucking form.
You can evolve.
Well, you can't, like, well, I mean, yeah, you can evolve later, but, like, for the purposes of the story, they keep you as your base form, and it's like,
Oh yeah,
please,
that's true.
I just want to evolve so I can be semi-stronger, so I have a actual chance. So my tactic for that fight became this: I would bum rush the stairs and try to reach Dialga. Once I reached Dialga, I would throw a Vile Seed at him and basically hope he would eat the thing, and then he would be super weak and I could kill him super easily. The biggest problem
Really?
with that, yeah, the Vile Seed lowers his defenses down as low as they
I
can go
really
through
forgot
status.
you could throw seeds at people.
Oh, hey there,
Yeah.
big time-space god Pokemon. Here's a
Have
seed!
this offering of poison.
Haha!
Yeah, and it's especially weird since you can throw it at them, and then for some reason they eat it. Like, why? So, the biggest problem with this was the fact that he's a legendary. And me and my ally are like are both base level Pokemon. Additionally, my character was a Turtwig, so legitimately all of my moves did basically nothing, even with the Vile Seed applied. I had a Pikachu as a partner. He also did nothing to it. And the dungeon leading up to him was completely filled with steel types, all of which continued to block me.
Get wrecked.
It was not a fun time.
I played the original one. I took a Bulbasaur. Like, I played as
Why?
Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur's cool.
No, Bulbasaur is not cool. Here's the thing: you can get the 3 old games. If Pokemon had 3 save files, here's what people's red, blues, and yellows would look like. You got your first save slot for your Charmander, your second save slot for your Squirtle, and then you got your third save slot for your second Charmander because Bulbasaur sucks dick.
Worst. Like grass types weren't the worst in the first generation. Especially since like the first 2 gyms are like fucking weak to grass, weren't they?
No,
It was
the first
I don't know,
first
one
generation.
was.
At least the first generation of Pokemon, the most broken type was Psychic, because the only thing that could hurt Psychic at that point was bugs, because they didn't decide that ghosts needed to do anything. Well, actually, no, ghosts could do something. Ghosts could hit it, but the only effective ghost was Gengar, who happened to have a secondary typing of poison, which made it weak to psychic moves. So psychic type Pokemon were super OP.
Uh-huh.
I could get off on a tangent about a few things, but we are fucking cutting into next week again.
He doesn't mind.
Nah.
What was I gonna say?
Tangent
Damn.
all you like.
It was something Pokemon related, and I completely forgot now.
Oh.
My courtesy has killed me. Oh well.
Oh well. So fuck.
Wow. I think Nick died.
Nope.
Unfortunate.
I'm still alive. My microphone fell down. I'm trying out a new setup. It is working
It seems
better.
to be fucking flailing a little bit. You've done that twice now.
It works when my microphone doesn't fall over, which, like, I had this setup going for like 3 hours earlier, and it was fine. But now that I've started the podcast, it's falling over. I don't know.
I think that requires your microphone to probably be the most stable.
So the people who are like, oh, hey, the intercom said this, so we're gonna say this, all right, be safe, everyone. All right, so I know that we're all excited to be on the cruise, but remember, everyone, try to stay respectful.
Excuse me?
As soon as the guy says, try to be respectful and listen to what everyone's trying to say, my dad, be in mind that he's shit-faced at this point. Rips the sweatiest, loudest, smelliest fucking fart I have ever had the displeasure to experience. At which point, everyone starts roaring in laughter. Like, I could hear people laughing from, we were at the back of the ship? Yeah, back of the ship. And we weren't at the very back, but around the corner was, another group, and they started laughing because they heard it as well. And, no one could hear what the guy was trying to say. And this happens, immediately as he says, be respectful, try and hear what everyone's trying to say, and then he's just drowned out. And then that motherfucker blames it on me. He says, I'm sorry, my son had burritos. I wanted to kick his ass so much at that very moment, but I know that he's shit-faced, so I don't want to. But at the same time, I just want to punch him out,
Little Mac versus Big Dad.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a solid, minute and a half of laughter, and then the intercom comes back on, okay, blah, 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 and the intercom had a sense of humor, which I liked. The intercom person was like, alright, so, remember, no running in the halls or roughhousing or any of that, so kids, if you see any adults doing that, then make sure to stop them. Like, that kind of humor. It was nice. She was funny. So that ends, I fuck off again to wherever, and then we reconvene for dinner, and then I fuck off again. There were a couple decks. My favorite deck on the ship was 2, because there was nobody there ever. At all. It was, there was also a movie theater there, which was even more secluded. So I just, sat in there most of the time whenever there wasn't a movie on. Though I did watch a few movies in there. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, The Walk, and I think one other? No, I think those were the only 2. Oh well. So, I go back to the room, and my mom tried to set up this, okay, hey, check in with me at these times. So, I was like, alright, sure, I'll check in with you at 1 o'clock, which, at her room, which is what I did, but she wasn't there. So, I wait another half an hour, she finally shows up, and keep in mind that I was very, very opposed to this check-in system, because I thought this sort of shit would happen, where she was like, alright, check in with me at this time, and I'm like, okay, and then she doesn't show up for half an hour, I'm like, you are late to an appointment that you fucking set up in the first place. What is wrong with you? And so after that, the check-in system got thrown out the window. Because, she wasn't willing to keep up with it. She apparently won money, so apparently gambling is more important than an appointment that she made herself. Which is fucking bullshit. But whatever,
yeah,
right?
Sorry, I couldn't check in with you. I was gambling.
She apparently won, $40 overall. Up 40. So, cool, I guess. Money's more important than your son.
Of course.
So we go to bed, next day comes, we go eat breakfast, and then we go and explore the place we're in. I think it's St. Kitts, or something like that, I don't know. I don't remember any of the port names, besides that one, maybe. I don't know what's wrong with my throat.
Everything.
Yeah, so...
He remembers the smell.
It was really fucking terrible. So, we get off the ship, and we go... we walk around for a bit and then go to a beach. The beach was boring. There was nothing going on with it, no waves. It was a nice beach. Like, the sand was white. The waves were non-existent. Like,
What's wrong with black sand, racist?
the water was clear. There is no well, I guess ash, whatever. But I don't like boring beaches. I don't like the clean. I like the ones that have a fuck ton of waves, which we did go to a beach that had a fuck ton of waves, which was awesome, by the way. Like, I just, like, whenever a big wave would come, I would just, like, jump into it and elbow smash it, and I would end up breaking these waves and stop them from continuing on, which felt awesome to do, because I can stop nature. I have the power. I am a waterbender. Fear me, immortals.
Butterfly effect.
Huh?
Butterfly effect. No. What if your actions in breaking those waves did something?
Well, I was able to affect shit, so that's good. Otherwise, on the boring beaches, I would just lay in the sand for like hours and then just do nothing, like waiting.
Sounds riveting.
Very. Like, there was a fuck ton of downtime. Besides that, there's not like many interesting things that happen. Like, oh yeah, we explored and we came back to the ship and then explored and then came back to the ship. Like, there wasn't anything.
Pirate treasure.
I did not. Like, if you like traveling, then sure, the islands were probably a joy for you, but I did not like traveling. Like, it was a nice change of pace, but overall, I would rather have stayed at home, in a nice, comfy house that I'm in.
Usually, when people travel, especially when you're stuck on a fucking ship with someone, usually there's annoying people.
Oh, right, yeah.
My big fear of traveling. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get stuck with someone annoying.
I almost forgot about this. So, there was another movie that I watched, actually, besides Whiskey Tango Foxtrot and The Walk. By the way, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot was good. The Walk was meh. Like, it was a documentary about this guy who, like, put a high wire between the Twin Towers and then walked across it. And, like, illegally, like, he didn't have anyone's permission to do it. And it made it seem like it was the biggest fucking deal in the world. But at the same time, it was just, like, hilarious seeing this guy be so serious about a fucking high wire. Which, I can see why. Like, he was very into it, but still, it was meh. So, I did see one of the movies, Star Wars, The Force Awakens.
Did The Force Awaken?
Yeah, it did, in one of the characters. It was a pretty good movie. Like, I really haven't seen any Star Wars movies, but as a standalone movie, it was pretty good. Felt like there was 1 hour, 8 minutes, 14 seconds.
Is that really? I mean, I'm pretty sure people already know that.
Kunai with chain.
Speaking of that moment in time, like, so I'm watching the movie and it's pretty good. Like, it's starting to get to a climax, it's starting to get to the moment of the movie. Like, in most movies, there's like the one moment that you remember the most out of anything, like in when the superhero like punches somebody out, or when like something hilarious happens. There's usually that one like standout moment. There's usually that one money shot, as foreigners like to say. So
yeah, that's weird.
So at that point in the movie, like the climax, this is the point in the
What is wrong with you?
I can hear myself through Chris's audio.
Okay.
Like, do you have
Should've been
headphones
able
in?
to.
Or
Oh, I do. And I have. Yeah, no, my speakers are disabled.
I don't know why I can hear. Like, I can't hear myself now.
I can hear it too.
Like, I can't hear myself now through you, but I don't know.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna hold. All right, so it's experiment. I'm gonna do. All right, we're gonna start right now. No. I'm gonna start right now. Go for a minute. See if you can hear me. See if you can hear yourself. All right. Let's start. Go ahead and continue doing what you're doing.
All right, so at the integral point in the movie, at the climax, at the huge moment of the movie, which anyone who's seen the movie will probably know about.
Kunai with chain.
Yeah, that. These two fucking little Mexican shits run into the movie theater, like, as the person is being, stabbed. Like, these two little Mexican shits run in and like, oh, you're watching a movie. Fuck you! Come see me! Okay, that's cool. No, that's happening. Oh, no. Like, these two fucking Mexican little shits were loud as fuck, and everyone in the movie theater is like, shut the fuck up. Like, nobody actually says anything, but they all, like, stare at them. And this is the integral point of the movie, so it kind of ruined the experience of that one integral point in the movie for me. And the reason I mentioned that they're Mexican little shits is that their parents...
That was a minute. I'll just shut the fuck up. Did you hear anything?
Nope, nothing.
No.
Huh. Well, alright, everything should be okay then.
Alright. So the parents then come in after them, and you would think that the parents would reprimand them for, making a scene in a movie theater that's packed. Like, it's pretty packed. Like, there are a few seats here and there, but it's pretty damn packed. But no, they encourage them. They're like, oh yeah, that's happening on in the movie. Yeah, yeah. And the kids go, yeah, yeah. Fuck you. The fuck are you doing? Have some common courtesy. This is the most important point of the movie, and what do? You ruin it for everyone. Fuck you. And eventually, like, after a solid, 30 seconds of them, cheering on the kids, yeah, yeah, yeah. At least 5 people walk up to him and they're like, hey, shut the fuck up. And then they walk away. And then, again, later on in the movie, when a lightsaber fight's going on, the kids are like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, the same 5 people walk over to them and say, shut the fuck up. They actually curse this time, by the way.
Good.
And then, at that point, the kids finally shut the fuck up. I was so pissed at this. Holy shit.
I've had one experience like that where someone was talking in a movie theater. Granted, the person was actually autistic, so kind of made sense.
You still need to reprimand them, but yeah. That's the first time I've ever experienced someone being so blatantly disrespectful to everyone else in the theater by being as loud and annoying and as attention-grubbing as possible. Holy shit.
Kids are annoying.
Some kids are. Other kids are fine.
No, kids in general are pretty bad. At least in my eyes.
I usually...
The fuck is that? Like a fucking chipmunk. Chris, what the fuck?
What are you
What up?
listening to?
What the fuck are you doing?
There's a chipmunk in the
I
background.
don't care if you're watching something, but why can't we hear it?
I don't know.
I honestly have zero clue why you can hear it.
What are you listening to?
May or may not be the anime homework.
Oh, okay. Speaking of that real quick, where did everyone get in the anime homework?
I got halfway through season 1. Granted, I've watched it before.
Chris?
I am on the last 3 episodes.
Of season
Jesus.
1 or season 2?
Season 2, part 3, because they like to cut the show and cut the second season into 3 parts.
Yeah,
Which
it was
was-
a...
which was-
X2 Ketsu.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing at first, but because I looked up Durarara, and I was like, there was like Durara X2, and then there was
Yeah,
Ketsu and
It
the
was
other one,
Show
and I was
10
like,
Ketsu. Yes.
yeah,
I
and so
had
I
that
was
same
like,
problem.
I don't know which one I watched. I don't know which ones I watched in order, so I'll just watch I'll just watch season 1 Durara, and then I'll go online and figure it out. And I figured out the order. It's Show 10 and then Ketsu.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that was
So
a
yeah,
pretty big reason I only watched like half of the first episode. I was like, all right, well, I have to do this and I have to figure out the order of this shit.
I ended up not finishing it this time for some reason.
Ooh,
Like I
mean,
got
granted,
to.
you watched it before.
I mean, I haven't watched X2 Ketsu. Like I got to. Like I started watching it over again, like from the very beginning. Okay, wait. Let's talk about this when we actually get to the anime homework. I suppose. So back to.
wait, on the topic of anime homework, we're gonna go on another slight tangent. Who is your guys' favorite character?
Indurarara.
Yeah,
I suck with names, but I really like Biker Lady.
Celti.
Delty. Ah,
I
I
can see
liked
that.
cool.
her. I liked her till they started explaining her, and then it was kind of like, fuck you. I don't
Like
give a
in the
shit.
first episode, she has the cool fucking shadow scythe thing.
Yeah, like she was interesting as a mystery, and I didn't know her motives because at that point I didn't truly care about anyone else either. I was just like, yeah, no, there's no one I'm truly rooting for here. Got Mikado, I guess, and then there's Masaomi. Oh, goody.
Alright, fuck
I
it. We're
don't-
doing anime homework now.
No, I'm in the middle of watching
Middle
it. You're
of
gonna
your
continue. You're gonna continue your week. I just want to talk about favorite characters.
Alright. I don't have a favorite character. I have a favorite character interaction. Izaya
What the
and
fuck
Shizuo.
does that mean? No, you have a favorite
No.
character. You know character interaction. What the fuck does that mean? Character interaction? What?
Okay, I have the,
Shizuo and Izaya, yeah, all right, fun. Every time it happens, it's plot convenient for them to leave.
like, I really like how they're... Okay, later, anime homework. We'll talk about it
Just
then.
finish your fucking cruise.
I
No,
already finished on that. Like, that was the
No.
that was the interesting stuff. All of the other time was just like, oh, I ate food, I just did whatever on the ship.
My favorite character.
Cruise wasn't very interesting.
Fuck you. Shingen Kishitani, Shinra's
Shinra.
dad.
Oh, no.
Shinra's dad.
Shingen.
Yeah, Shingen. Because he was just kind of there. He also had my favorite scene when he got the two other guys to wear the masks and then they did the fucking windmill thing.
The windmill.
That was so good.
Yeah,
That was top. Oh, yeah, he was my favorite character. I mean, I still have 3 episodes to go, so I don't know if he'll remain my favorite character because he might have his own motives. He doesn't seem to have any motives though. He just kind of there. He's talking like he talks like he has motives.
We
but
talk about this on the anime homework portion of the podcast.
No, it's just a slight tangent. But for the most part, he's just kind of there, and every time he's there, he's very entertaining. like the first time he shows up in the anime, like, no, Celty, why didn't you back me up? I thought since you were there, I could talk shit. Like, no, fuck you, old man. Can't talk shit.
We talk about this on the anime homework portion of the podcast. Shut up.
Yeah, that's your problem.
So, not like nothing else happened on the cruise. I've been trying to upload 1 video a day, so that's been working out.
Yeah.
I've
How much more content do you have, though?
I have like 3 episodes of Partners in Time and then 2 podcasts, including this one.
All right. You got 5 days worth of shit now.
So I've like run through like all the backlog and whatnot, so that's good. And played the video games. Oh, flight home was horrible because The going there, it was only 8 hours, like 2 4-hour flights. Fine, whatever. Coming back, it was a 4-hour flight to like North Carolina, and then a 4-hour layover in that fucking airport, and then another 4 hours back
dude.
to Arizona.
Why?
That sucks.
It was apparently cheaper or something.
Layovers suck. Although I wish I had layovers in my flight to the Philippines. Like both going there and coming back. Like going there, we went from Phoenix to LA, and then LA to LA to like Korea, and then Korea to the Philippines. And then when we came back, we went back to Korea, and then we went to, and then we instead went to Seattle, and then we said went to Washington, and then we went to Phoenix.
Now, obviously, when you say Korea, you obviously mean South Korea.
Yeah. Every single time, except for when we stopped in Washington. Every single time, except for when we stopped in Washington, our flight was literally in like 5-10 minutes, and so like we'd have to like get off the plane and run to the terminal. There was no time to look at anything. It was just like, get the fuck off the plane. We need to get on our flight now before shit goes bad. And I was like, oh, only in Washington did we have a slight barely have a slight delay of just like, oh, we're gonna be here for a while. You want to go get food? And I was like, wait, this time we have a chance to sit down and get food and stuff. Great, let's fucking do that. Every other time it was just like, we're planes leaving really close. We had to get in line, and every time we showed up, the terminal, everyone was like already in line to get on the plane. I was like, God damn it! You know, I'd kind of like to enjoy.
In-flight food
is not very good for the most part.
Depends on what flight you're on.
I mean, it does. Depends on what flight and class as well. I don't know. Fairly sure my family got the cheapest tickets imaginable. Most of the food was edible, unlike my elementary school food, where half of it was basically inedible, and it was just kind of like, hopefully there's something I can eat. But I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was just a matter, since I was going to like fucking Korea or the Philippines on each flight for the two, or since I was going to like Korea for the Korea or away from Korea for like the 2 main flights where I got meals, they were just like, yeah, here's a menu that's for the most part in their language, and then some parts are in English, so maybe the menu's there. I was like, please.
Not like unknown chicken fingers, unknown.
There wasn't even that. Every meal I got was like one or two. It was one thing or the other. You got one or the other, and you better friggin' choose it. you better decide real quickly. And I was like, and you just like, you know, everyone else has to like get their meals. So I was just kind of like, number 2 sounds great.
So what was number 2?
The one thing that I like, there was one time where I got a meal where one thing was like a Korean thing, and the second option was food I knew, and I was like, I will go with what I know instead of what I don't know, because that's generally a good idea.
Generally, yes.
But for the most part, the first flight to Korea was probably the best one because it had a USB charger. So I could, and I had a USB charger for both my 3DS and my phone. So I was just like, I am literally set for games here. But then the next couple of flights didn't have that, and so like I would just be like, please, if my 3DS could not die on this flight, I would be so oh, it's dying.
You need a portable charger.
I mean, we had those, but again, I'm broke. I don't want to spend money. And so I have a family member who works in the hotel business, and like every time they have like an event, they like hold an event for like people, and the people bring like promotional stuff to give out, like like pens and stuff or whatever. Like for most of the time, they'll like anything extra they just leave behind. And I guess one of the things that they brought were power banks, but these power banks were old. One, these power banks were old. Two, no one used them. Three, they're promotional products, so they weren't built to last. So like, I would be like, oh, I guess we have portable batteries. I need to charge my phone. I put it to charge my phone. It charges it for like 5 seconds and then decides it doesn't want to charge it anymore. And I just kind of went, okay, that's fine. I didn't need my phone to charge anyway. It's not like it's at 15%, which is the point where it's like, hey, fuckwad, put me on the charger before I die.
Yep.
So yeah, I get tons of like free candy and shit from that family member. It's
Delicious.
Great. It's great. It's great. That's also that also happens to be the family member that takes me out to movies.
Ooh.
Movies. I see all the movies all the time. What did I watch? I watched Independence Day Resurgence.
I heard that was bad.
It's not. It's pretty meh. It's not like super crazy, horribly bad. There's a lot. I mean, it's not a good. It's definitely not a good movie. But it's not like absolute trash. If you just want to see things, if you're entertained by like Michael Bay's Transformers, you'll probably be entertained by this.
God.
It's basically the easiest way to put it. If you're entertained by that, you'll more than likely be entertained by this, because this has slightly more plot. Actually, not slightly more plot, and also explosions and stuff, and super serious convoluted relationships, and also throwbacks to old characters from the original Independence Day, and characters from the original Independence Day. So every time everyone was like super excited over a character, I was like, I have no fucking clue what's going on. I've never seen Independence Day, so I'm just sitting here watching the sequel to it, and I'm just like, fucking aliens, I guess. Fucking aliens, I guess.
Aliens.
All I know about the old movie is that we won through basically bullshit. But like somehow we got one of their ships, and we could plug it into our computer, and then we hacked it.
Yep. Everyone knows alien technology runs off USB.
It's reasonable.
It's universal.
Yeah. So
that's all I know. It would be weirder if it didn't work.
It is a universal serial bus.
That's all I know about the old movie. It wasn't necessarily a horrible movie, but it's not great.
The alien tech fucking compatible with our computer. It sounds pretty bad.
That was the first movie. They didn't do that shit they didn't pull that shit this movie. They were like, our viewers may be slightly smarter this time.
No.
So
smarter than the average bear.
We'll just throw in some slightly more bullshit. Like,
we'll say some really big sciencey words.
No, basically, the most annoying part of the movie, which neither of you two seem to care about it, so I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it.
Spoil it.
Oh, no one gives a fuck.
Spoilers up.
Well, I mean, it just came out. Some people might. So basically, every single time they thought they had the aliens in the movie, they were fucked somehow, and then they'd be like, well, I guess the world's fucked again. And then, 10, 15 minutes into into the movie later, it would be like, oh
We
hey,
have another way.
it was basically that. Oh hey, I have another way to unfuck ourselves from the aliens, and it was just like, God, how many times can
We'll
you
make a
unfuck
giant lady alien. They'll have to come down, and then we'll steal their ships.
Of course.
I don't know. It was
Foolproof.
every single time. Like they tried like 3 or 4 separate times to win that fight, and they did it. And I was like, how many freaking times does this need to happen? Why does it? Can we just win? Can we just win at some point? I know we're going to win because nobody wants to see a movie where humanity just gets destroyed. Well, no. Well, most moviegoers don't want to see a movie where humanity loses. So I know we're gonna win at one point, but can we please stop with the Can we please stop with the absolute?
Can we please stop with the cum? What?
Yeah, the cum.
No, the absolutely
Facts.
bullshit comebacks. Like
Yeah, the cum.
every single time.
Facts.
But yeah, it was okay. I also saw Warcraft, which was a thing.
I didn't actually see that. I wanted to.
No, maybe throw that back up.
All right, spoilers.
I actually
for
care for spoilers about this one because I actually want to go see that.
Oh yeah, so spoil.
Well, it's an okay movie. Maybe read up a bit.
Here's what I understand. It's
World of Warcraft.
for the fans, essentially. You have to understand Warcraft lore, which I understand a fair decent bit of it.
No, you don't absolutely have to understand. It's better to come in with Warcraft knowledge. Like, I'm not gonna go into details since you care about seeing this movie, but like,
apparently the Doomhammer's in it. That's what I know.
Like I know, like from Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. I know a little bit of Warcraft characters. And so I was just like trying to look for them the entire movie. I was like, oh, I know that one. I know that person. I know you. I maybe read your backstory once. I actually know you exist and what you did. But
any dragons?
Yeah, I see. Wait, dragons?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. No, there's no dragons.
Wow.
Like there was. It's like you can enjoy the movie without knowing World of Warcraft stuff. It infinitely improves the experience. I would guess if you know Warcraft stuff. Other than that, it's just it's just a movie with a bunch of pieces you don't understand, and it's okay that you don't understand them. But at the same time, again, you would have a higher appreciation of the movie and what it's doing if you knew.
Okay, I have exactly one question for you. Is it the best video game movie you have seen?
Consider your options when you say video game movies.
There's not many options. I saw Pixels.
Oh God,
Pixels was a thing.
Yeah,
if you count the Resident Evil movies, I saw those.
Yeah, those count.
What else is there that's come out recently?
Don't know, but there's like the fucking Mario movie. You have the Mortal Kombat.
Horrible.
I think there was a Mortal Kombat movie.
There was
Street Fighters.
There was a Hitman movie. There was a Hitman movie, but that's not much of a. That's not a. I don't really count that as a video game.
I think everyone's best thing for that is, what's its name? Wreck-It Ralph?
That's technically also a video game. It's technically a video game movie, but it
has video games in it.
It has video games in it, and it's about
video games.
It has video games in it, and it's about video game characters. But in the whole thing, it's not a video game movie because it isn't based on a franchise that people are super hyped about.
Yeah,
like, the Assassin's Creed movie's happening, so like people are.
Oh God.
I mean, dude, it has Magneto.
It's gonna be like fucking 3 hours of him climbing up shit and collecting feathers.
But it has Magneto.
Magneto?
I don't remember Magneto in fucking that shit.
I hear I hear his appearance is gonna be Magneto.
That was horrible. But I don't know. I mean, in terms of video game movies, it's better. It's better than basically most stuff. Yeah, basically better than most stuff. I haven't seen a whole. I can't draw any specific examples because the basic formula for a video game movie is don't make it because it usually will end up horrible and the fan base will hate it.
Most of the time, yes.
So there's not a lot of those running around, but from what I've seen, it's not bad. It's good in video game movies. It's not bad in terms of movies.
All right.
I don't think there's any other movies I saw that you guys have managed to care about, so we can move on.
All right.
All right.
So, is that your week? Or are we still doing next week, or what's going on here?
My week finished a while ago.
Did it?
I guess.
Yeah. So, Chris, go ahead. Continue.
I thought Dominic was going.
I don't know. I'm confused at this point.
You can
All
go,
right.
Dominic.
Yeah,
All right. I gotta figure out where this shit starts. Like, Nick left for the cruise and we didn't do anything whatsoever because we really couldn't because he hosts all this shit.
Yep. Haha.
I think
I mean, he
most
hosts
notable
it, but
that have happened is the Steam Summer Sale happened. I took advantage of that and purchased myself Stardew Valley and Undertale. Undertale, I'm recording, and I spent all morning, from 3 a.m. I was recording and editing. I uploaded some parts of that and got a few episodes to come on that. Stardew Valley is really fucking fun. I don't understand why. Have either of you ever played Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing or anything like that?
No.
Chris?
yes.
You're a big DS guy, so I imagine you would.
Yeah, what?
Harvest Moon or Animal Crossing or anything like that?
Oh, no, I don't. I don't play any of those kinds of games.
Yeah,
I don't play any of those kinds of games. I play, for the most part, on the DS. I for the most part play Pokemon. I've played select titles outside of Pokemon. Like when I first got my DS, there were a couple of games that I got with it, like Lego Indiana Jones, a old Spyro game, and some other stuff. It's like I beat the Spyro game. I played Lego Indiana Jones till my sanity broke. I played the Super Mario Brothers Bowser's Inside Story. Played all the Pokemon game. Played every single Pokemon game, except for Soul Silver. Never got that. Don't know why. The only other game series that I follow along on the DS as well is the Fossil Fighters series.
Oh, those are fun.
Yeah, there's.
I played the original for a little bit. That was fun.
Yeah, it's a fun little game. There was the original. They came out with a second one again for the DS, and then they came out with a new one for the 3DS. I believe last year. I think it was last year that they came out with
it was last year because you played that in school a bit.
Yeah, I played that in school a bit, and if I remember correctly, I did go off on a podcast.
Yes.
One. So if you wanna know all you want about Fossil Fighters, if you want to know everything, you
look through our podcasts.
Look through our podcasts. It should be generally in the beginning portions, and that's where we talk about weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to know, if you want to know about Fossil Fighters, I think it's called Frontier. I think that's the one for the 3DS.
I think so, yeah.
I played that for a while. It's fun. It departs from the regular style. I won't go into detail since I've gone into more, but it departs from the regular style, the regular battle style of the series. Yeah, It wasn't enjoyable. It was also it was slightly enjoyable. The only annoying part. I don't know if I went into this, so I'm gonna dive into it now. I'm gonna dive into it here. Um, instead, like, in order to make in order to like make kids feel special, this game you get a in this game in this Fossil Fighters you get a special little dinosaur pal that also comes along on your adventures, and he goes from a tiny little like T-Rex looking thing into a full on dinosaur when you're gonna fight and stuff. And so it's nice to have your own dinosaur and stuff. The only thing that sucks about him is that he changes forms every time at critical plot points in the game to better suit the plot. So, and when he changes forms, he essentially entirely changes fighting styles. So it's like, well, I thought I had my team okay. Everything was like synergistic, and plot caused my dinosaur to change, caused my main dinosaur, if you so chose to use him. You could just put him on the sidelines the entire game if you so chose, but yeah, but he would change forms, just be like, fucking hell, I can't deal with this shit. Okay, everything was going fine. I had my team going, and he changes forms, and now maybe I need to switch up my team.
Damned evolving dinosaurs.
How could they do that to you?
Well, the reason I brought that up was like the reason I brought up Harvest Moon and fucking Animal Crossing, because this game
Stardew Valley, and then you played it, didn't you?
Well, Stardew Valley, I don't like those games. Like, I played Animal Crossing, and I really didn't like it. And I haven't played Harvest Moon, but I have a huge feeling I wouldn't like it either. The thing is, Stardew Valley feels like they took both those games and several other elements and made them together, and it just works really well. Stardew Valley is just very easy to just play for hours. I don't even know how long I've been playing it, but it's very good.
Yeah, hear that a lot. A lot of people have done stuff with it. Ray did a lot of Stardew Valley streams.
Oh,
yeah.
Although he weaned himself off.
What a weenie.
He weaned himself off from actually streaming it. He probably still does it behind the scenes. The Achievement Hunter guys started playing it. They even streamed it once, which was great because they played on poor Mika's game. They're like, "Oh look, Stardew Valley's installed." And Mika was like, don't play. Oh, you're playing on my game." It was Jeff and Ryan. So,
and so probably just fucking get beer and go fishing.
So they fucked around a little in the game, and Mika was just like, "Please don't fuck up my game." And it was even greater when like they slept and moved on to the next day, and like the autosave icon popped up, and Mika just went, just fucking died.
That is one of the weird things is I'm pretty sure you can only save if you sleep, so it's really weird.
Yeah, so Mika died a little on the inside when they did that, and I know they've also played it by themselves. I've heard good things about it.
It's good.
It again just doesn't seem like my forte. Plus, I'm not broke. I actually got paid $10 this past weekend for assisting.
Ooh,
for assisting the family member that takes me to movies and gives me free shit from the hotel work. I got $10 from that, but there's stuff I want right now, but I don't want to spend the money right now because I want to get Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Oh.
Yeah.
And those add up to like $80 combined.
Those add to $80. Those add to $80, plus an extra 10 because I pre-order. Because fuck you.
You son of a bitch. Wait, why?
I mean, Nintendo delivers stuff.
Yeah, it's Pokemon, so
Nintendo's going to deliver. unless they absolutely have a cataclysmic crash down, for the most part, they'll deliver.
Do you remember what happened to Mighty Number 9?
Oh, God.
It got released and people hated it, from what I remember.
Even the fans hated it.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to play Pokemon Sun and Moon, but there's also 4 other games I want for the 3DS that are actually currently out right now.
Wait, I'm gonna try and guess them.
No, 3 games. There's 3 games, and then there's 1 DLC that connects 2 of them.
Oh.
That one should be pretty simply easy for you. That's easy.
Fire Emblem Fates / Conquest.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Fates, Conquest, and Revelation. The Revelation DLC. I want to get those and play it because I played the 3DS Fire Emblem and that was fun.
The fucking special edition is still like not available anywhere. It fucking sucks.
Maybe because they're never ever gonna redo it.
I really hope they're gonna reprint it at some point, but at this point,
I don't know.
It kind of feels like they're not going to, which sucks because I really want it.
Yeah, either that or they're just like holding off. You know, maybe go watch the game theory video on why there's amiibo shortages.
Yeah.
Money.
And you didn't bother guessing the last game.
Oh, what was it?
I have no idea what you're talking
Guessing
about.
the last game might be a bit difficult. I don't know, start guessing. It's a 3DS game, I'll give you that much.
Steam World.
No.
Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
No. Although I do have that on the. Although I do have like an old school Bakugan game on the DS, which is
that's Battle Brawlers.
Which is kind of fairly shit, but I already have that, and it's old, and that's not a 3DS game either. You're going wrong.
I mean, technically it's a 3DS game. It can be played on the 3DS anyway.
No, it's a DS game that I can play on my 3DS. It's not a 3DS game. Get your shit
well,
straight.
Technically speaking.
Fuck off. Alright, technically speaking, you're fucking... Keep going.
Bravely Default.
I did want that one, and then I heard of it, and then I heard stuff from you about how basically they just start repeating, and I just kind of went, well.
Yeah, that part's kind of meh.
So I just kind of went, well. Plus it's out for a while, and now there's a sequel, and so I'm just, at this point, I'm just kind of like.
I was about to say the sequel, Bravely Second.
No, if I didn't get the first one, why would I get the? Sure, I'll just grab the second.
I mean, why not?
Yes, I remember all these characters. Who are you?
Yeah.
And what importance do you have?
Dragon Quest VII.
No. I do
Yokai Watch.
No.
Kirby Planet Robobot.
No, I thought Ian probably has that.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure he said he beat it. I think he got it and beat it within the same day.
Oh my god. I mean, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do much.
True.
Else.
Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes.
Oh, you're getting warmer, but
Mighty Number 9.
A Link Between Worlds.
Nope.
Damn it.
Majora's Mask.
No.
Ocarina of Time.
No.
Original.
Four Swords Adventures.
No. Man.
Link's Master Sword. Porno spinoff.
I'll master your sword.
No.
Beating Ganon has now changed meaning.
No. Alright. Do you guys give up? Can I...
Yes!
No. Dragon Quest 9.
I don't even know what's coming out. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
You're getting colder now.
Project Cross Zone 2.
No.
Project Cross Zone.
You're getting colder. I did want to get Project Cross Zone event at one point, but that's not on my radar too much anymore.
Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Now you're getting colder now.
Hyrule Warriors Legends.
Oh, ding, ding, ding! A winner is you.
Hey! I knew I could get it.
It's just.
I don't give a fuck.
It's mobile. It's mobile Dynasty Warriors type gameplay, and that's just like, yes, I'll take that. The only thing I don't like about it is the other thing that kind of puts me off from like absolutely buying in $40 right now is basically the fact that like it has its own unique storyline, which I don't mind, but like I played the Dynasty Warriors Gundam series of games, which is Dynasty Warriors plus Gundam, which equals super amounts of fun. And while each Dynasty Warriors Gundam game had like its own like set story that its own unique story it would have and reasons for everyone to be there. In addition to that, they also had a campaign mode, so you could kind of semi get a feel for each story that each character came from. It's just, but you just can't do that with a Legend of Zelda game.
I mean, you can. It's just that's probably not going to work out very well.
Yeah, with how Legend of Zelda works, it just doesn't like. It works with Dynasty Warriors Gundam because, for the most part, a lot of fights in the Gundam animes boil down to gigantic army fights. So the massive amount of like fodder for you to kill it's there. But for like a Legend of Zelda game, like, oh yeah, look, it's the water temple. There was not a shit ton of guys in the water temple, let me tell you that. Although apparently it's really bad. I don't know. I've never played a Legend of Zelda game, but I like Dynasty Warriors. I like Dynasty Warriors kind of game, beat 'em up style games where I'm basically OP as shit. I kick the shit in of every little shit nugget unless you crank the difficulty up, and then you don't kick quite as much shit. You just get your shit kicked in a harder.
Yeah. Back to the water temple point. It's not that the water temple's hard. It's that it's time consuming and it can get confusing at times.
Yeah, I don't know. I never played a Legend of Zelda game. Don't think I ever will because
They're fun.
I just don't. I just don't like puzzles. Puzzles are the bane of my fucking existence. Like,
well, bad puzzles anyway. I mean, there's good puzzles. Like if you've ever played the Talos Principle
or Professor Layton.
Never played Talos Principle. Never played Professor Layton. I don't like puzzles. All right. Fuck it. Well, we'll go to a game that.
Pokemon has puzzles.
Got a game that we all played, like Skyrim.
I have not played Skyrim.
Oh, fuck them. Fuck that.
Some of Skyrim's puzzles are very like some of the like in the beginning they're super easy because you're barely getting started in the game, but then like as soon as you like start straying from the path, you go into like a random cave and look there's a puzzle you think you need to solve before you can go, and there's like 50 levers and you're just like, why?
Well, the ones I hate the most are the ones where the things spin and you need to figure out which is the right combination, be like with the faces. But sometimes you're not getting the correct information or the answer is skewed in some way. And it's just really fucking annoying.
Yeah, like
or levers are hidden in really odd places because they just blend in.
Like when the puzzles don't follow a logical like conclusion, that's when I just like lose my shit.
Yeah, you wouldn't like Talos Principle. Talos Principle has some mind-fucking-bending puzzles. It's like, how the fuck do you do this?
Yeah. For the most part, whenever I decide to play Skyrim, it's like, well, better get my phone ready because I know I'm gonna run into some cave where I'm just going to be a puzzle, and I'll just fucking look this shit up. I don't have time. I want to get to stabbing things and maybe doing magic and stuff. I don't want to spend my time.
Apparently, you use fucking invincibility items.
That could work.
Listen, it's fun.
It's not fun. We talked about this we talked about this on podcast 16. Talked about god items. No, fuck that.
No, they're fun. And
I guess it's different relative. Like, I make the game harder, and some people just like to make the game easier. Some people like to just be invincible. I guess that's fun to them. I don't get it.
Like,
I can't have fun with that.
It's a power trip,
I mean, it's again going back to like the whole dub versus sub. It's just personal preference.
Yeah,
I like being invincible and enjoying beating the shit out. Oh, what the fuck was that? Oh, that's a messaging.
Oh,
The messaging.
This fucking Ian. Oh, he says hey. Bye, Ian. Anyways, I like being super powerful in games. Like going back to Dynasty Warriors Gundam, like you like if you're good enough. Oh, good. It's a. Did you guys send you this too?
yeah, I saw this earlier.
What?
Yeah, I don't want to watch it. So I'll watch
I
it
have no
later.
idea what you're talking about.
But
Hang on.
so in Dynasty Warriors Gundam, if you have enough patience, you can get through basically any stage with any character in any mobile suit. Doesn't matter what. It'll probably just take you an eternity. It'll probably just take you an eternity and make you want to die. So
That's it.
You know, just an
so
eternity in death.
so you can get stronger. Like the pilot, like each pilot you get. Like Nick, you've played Hyrule Warriors, right?
Yeah, I played through a good bit
Like
of it.
your characters like level up and stuff, and maybe stats and do they have stats? Probably have stats, right?
Yeah, they do.
Stats and shit increase and cool stuff happens. Is there like an equipment system as well, or is there just...
Believe so.
Yeah, there is. You get items from monsters, and then you use those to craft like weapons and such for each character.
Oh, okay. And in a similar vein to making characters stronger, in addition to leveling them up, you can also make them. You can also make sure that their custom mobile suit, if you at least choose like a main character, you can at least make sure like their custom mobile suit is also the highest you can get it. So, I mean, it doesn't make the game, having the highest mobile suit doesn't make the game much easier. It just makes it, you can just hit a lot harder at that point. Everyone still kicks your shit. Everyone still kicks your shit. And like, did you ever?
I mean, that inadvertently makes it easier.
It makes it easier. Well, it's easier because you have a lot more room for error. Additionally, it takes you less time to beat the shit out of enemies. But if you have enough patience, and enough skill, you should theoretically you should be able to do it with like a level 1 character and the beginning and like a beginning
Like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
a beginning mobile suit. Yeah, like Dark Souls. You can theoretically never level up and still beat the game, although you're basically insane.
Basically.
Or time.
Not entirely, but you're basically insane.
All right.
I mean, at least the Guitar Hero dude could level up, so like maybe he'll get to a point where he has room for error. But if you're gonna go through it without ever leveling up, or maybe even attaching or like wielding different weapons that aren't specially required, I'm not sure. I've never played a Dark Souls game, so I don't know if there's anything special you have to do. But
like there's very few instances where you need an item. Like I'm pretty sure in the first game you need this one ring to beat this one boss, because otherwise you just fall through the world, and that's kind of bad times. In the third game you need well, you don't really need it, but there's a sword that makes the boss really easy. If you don't have this sword, it'll basically be a huge fucking pain in the ass, but you can do it without it. In Demon Souls, there was a boss fight that required you to use actually the same sword to fight this giant fucking flying manta ray.
Sweet.
There's some instances of that.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, it just makes the game slightly... Like, I don't know. I know, Nick, you've played Dynasty Warriors, so, like, when you cranked it up... Did you ever crank it up to the highest difficulty?
No.
Crank it.
Also, I haven't played Dynasty. I played Hyrule. But
Or
they're basically
Hyrule.
the same thing.
They are the same thing.
They are the same thing with a different skin.
Yeah.
You never cranked it up to the highest difficulty? Did you even finish the game?
No.
Jesus. Oh, good. Well, in Dynasty Warriors Gundam, at least the latest iteration I played, which was 3, there was a main storyline, and additionally for each mission, you had difficulties that you could choose. So you had easy, which means no one can do anything to you. You're OP as hell god. Normal, people can do stuff to you, but that's generally only the named pilots, and maybe the little peons could do some damage to you over time. That maybe will cause you to lose. And then you got the named people are going to be quite annoying. Then you got the hard.
Everyone's the final
setting.
boss.
No, not everyone's not the final boss, but even the peons that you should be killing in like the tens with even one button press in like the tens group with every single button press, they start to deal decent damage to you. And whenever like a named person shows up, they'll do decent damage as well as have every single skill imaginable. Like, they have blocking, but for the most part, it only
Most
works.
advanced technique handed down only to select clans.
No, you can block, but you can only do it for your front. But there's a skill that lets you block from every direction, because why not? If you hold your mobile suit's arms up, and if you hold your arms up in front of you, there's no way anything in the back could hit you for full damage. Anyways, they seem to have like all this. They seem to have like all the good ton of skills beyond what you can do, and if they manage to touch you, it's like, please don't.
What?
Especially when, like, I don't know if they have it in Hyrule Warriors, but there's like a clash system. So when you fight a named person, when you and the named person are about to hit each other with a move at the same time, you go into like a clash sort of thing where it's just like they say a couple of their filler lines, and then like you have to do a quick series of button presses, and if you win that, they're put at a disadvantage, and if you lose that, you're put at a disadvantage.
I do not remember this happening in Hyrule Warriors.
Well, it happens in Dynasty Warriors, Gundam.
All right,
but like if you're about to attack and your opponent and the named person that was going to hit you was going to hit, like, it'll do a clash thing. You have to hit a series of buttons within a certain amount of time in order to win the clash thing. And so you have an obscenely large amount of time to do the short 3-button combo. I think for normal it's the same 3-button combo but less time. But then when it skips to hard, you get the shortest amount of time to do a 5-button combo that is also random every time. So it's like, it appears got to press them all, or I'm going to be put at a severe disadvantage that will most likely end in me losing this fight, and in effect losing the battle.
Can you run from the fight after you've clashed, or are you just stuck fighting?
No, after you clash, whoever lost is put at a disadvantage. In this case, since you're fighting in mobile suits, your mobile suit will go flying, and then it'll be put in like a powered down sort of stunned state, where you lose all your boost energy, so you're not going to boost out of there. Additionally, you probably won't be able to fire off any of your energy attacks, so you're kind of more or less boned till your energy comes back. So if you lose a clash, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna lose a good chunk of health when your opponent's kicking you all down. But if you win a clash, you're gonna get to kick them. So that's always fun.
All right, sounds good.
So my week still a thing. By the way,
I'm gonna be back.
Talking about Stardew fucking Valley. I don't know where the fuck this came from.
This came from puzzles.
Right.
Which came from, we started talking just about boss fighters, and that just went off on everything else.
No, we started you talked to me about DS games, and then went on. Then we talked about puzzles, which led to Skyrim, which led to invincibility, which led to this. I'm gonna be back, by the way. So
Sounds good.
All right.
Fucking okay.
So Iggy, what'd you do this week?
Yeah, you should probably keep talking about it. By the way, Stardew Valley is pretty fun.
All
Guess
right.
I already said that, but I don't
Yeah.
remember at this point.
Did you? Who knows? It could even be you. Quick, that's so trouble. You.
Some interesting things happened this week, such as fucking Brexit, or what the fuck they calling it.
Oh, they're so fucked.
Yeah, the euro seems to have tanked in value. Or not the... Is it not sure it's the euro, but the fucking... Whatever the fuck...
The pound, I think it is.
Pound, yeah, not euro. Euro is the currency that the EU uses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well.
that's doing fine.
Yeah.
And now Britain's gone. TLG made a video on it.
Yeah. I saw that.
It's just like... I don't even know what this is. Probably
Alright.
link it.
No, I saw it. Oh, yeah, I can.
I know, we should probably link it.
Oh, yeah, link
The
stuff.
fuck
That's
is
the thing.
that? What the fuck is Here We Go?
Here we go.
You linked this at 1:14 a.m. You did it 10 minutes ago. Best return to YouTube 2016.
That was yesterday. For the 1:14 a.m.
Oh, that's Paul.
Yeah.
No, that was today.
What?
The fuck you talking about? Anyway,
Make
fucking-
Britain great again?
yeah. No, I did that. What the fuck off. Fuck off.
No,
and fucking shut up.
No,
Fuck off.
no. Wait. All right, so Paul's video was yesterday. Make Britain great again was a while ago.
I'm saying, when did you post it? Today.
Oh,
I didn't ask when it was done.
I thought you meant like, oh, when did Paul post it?
No. Fucking A. Yeah, that happened. YouTube's got itself in some controversy.
Over.
The fucking hashtag proud to be, they released a video on the YouTube channel about fucking transgenders, bis, gays, what have you. Whatever the fuck else is being passing as a gender. I don't care to fucking... There's like 30,000 of them. I'm pretty sure mayonnaise is a gender at this point.
I mean,
That's
could
non-ironic. That's non-ironic. So they released that video, and then people, of course, there was negative backlash, you know, people being absurdly rude, but then there were people with valid but still negative comments, albeit they were still valid comments, and YouTube was just going in and deleting everything that was slightly negative, to the point people kept posting the same comments and having deletion counters on them, where people were just talking like, hey, I wrote this comment, but here's how many times it's been deleted. It's probably going to be deleted by the time you refresh the page. That was a thing. And then over that, the night that video came out, I think around 4:15 or so, I don't have the exact times, for like 5 minutes at 4:15, YouTube got DOSed.
Wait, DDoSed?
Yeah, it had internal server errors for like 5 minutes. I have no way to actually confirm if it was a DOS, but I looked on social media and there was nothing about any official like downtime or anything. The fact that there was no official mention of it makes me think my initial assumption of DDoSing was correct, especially considering the fucking thing. And then it's no coincidence, I'm sure, that later on, after the assumed, that's a word, after the assumed DOS attack, the YouTube comments for that video were completely disabled. So that's a thing. Yeah. After YouTube was getting itself into some controversy, they just said, fuck it. That was fun. Found that all very interesting. I moved. That's a...
How was
moving house is not fucking horrible.
Not at all.
Fucking moving sucks.
See how.
Especially when you're the oldest son and you're expected to move fucking refrigerators and washing machines and bed frames and fuck that. And fucking Phoenix is too hot for this shit.
What, a big sweaty man lifting stuff in a ripped tank top t-shirt thing? It's not that bad to look at.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I was trying to make a joke like, oh yeah, you're sexy or hot or whatever. And then it just came out weird.
Yeah, I'm
like
not
I
giving you
did.
the address of my new home, by the way. No address for you.
Oh, I don't.
My new house is nice though. We have a pool, an in-ground pool, fucking actual trees. It's nice.
Trees? Wait.
Instead
Are they
just fucking
palm
rocks.
trees, cacti?
I think they're palm trees. All I know
Okay.
is they're shading my room from the sun, and it's beautiful. It's like my room is like the coldest room in the house, and it's absolutely beautiful. Fuck the heat. I feel like something else happened. Oh yeah, are you guys? Do you guys know what a launch pad is?
Depends on the context.
Launch pad
Yeah.
being the musical instrument.
Nope. Is a musical instrument called a launch pad?
Isn't it like a thing? Isn't it like a thing with like shit? It has like it's basically like a blackboard with buttons, and
I put a
you
video.
Plug it into, you plug it in. Oh, it has video. Well, I don't know. You plug it.
Oh
into
no,
your
it doesn't have
computer.
video. I put a video of a performance, a Super Smash Brothers mashup.
You plug it in to your computer, and like you can program the buttons to do certain. You can program the buttons to like play certain sounds and such. So
Yeah,
you just,
it's very interesting.
yeah. My sister has one actually.
They're
She doesn't
super
do it.
cool.
She
Wait.
doesn't do it.
I think I know what you're talking about. Hang on.
I put a video in the description.
Oh,
Or
you
not in the
did?
description, but-
My
Yeah,
sister
it was-
hasn't done anything with it. My sister hasn't done anything since it
Oh,
was like
that
a
thing.
gift.
Okay.
Hey,
It was
yeah.
a
do
gift.
you,
Like,
Nick, do you remember the videos I showed you, like the a salty stick, and there's another one by Baka
Yeah.
Opa.
Those
Are great. Those were on fucking Launchpad. They were Launchpad covers.
Yeah, that's how I remembered it. Yeah.
And this is one I found from a small YouTuber I follow, and it's really good. Smash Brothers. They're really interesting. I really want one because I feel like these are just very interesting.
It seems like it'd be fun to use one anyway.
Yeah, especially like the way, like if you watch this video, it's like he's just pushing buttons and like they memorize the order, but it just makes no sense when you're first watching. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you have to actually program everything. I think the program also costs additional money, so it's like it's slightly expensive. It's gonna cost you money to start this, and since you have no money.
Yeah.
Like, I know my sister got it as a gift, but like the person that got it for her as a gift didn't realize it also needed the software to do anything meaningful.
Ooh.
And so my sister hasn't, like, you can do some basic stuff with it, but to do anything like the stuff like the Smash Brothers thing, like you're gonna need like the software. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. My sister has one. She hasn't used it. She also has a guitar that she doesn't use or hasn't learned how to play. So, dee-doo-da.
Instruments are fun, but yeah, learning should do that shit. Nah, I'd probably learn to do one of these if I had the software and one of them. Besides that, I've been playing a bit of Borderlands 2.
I saw that.
Yeah, that game is fun. I just haven't played it in a while. I'm still like on a character that I haven't beat the game with. I wanted to do something. I wanted to have the three of us, since I know we all have it. I wanted us to play it and stream it because I want to play through with some people and I want to beat it.
Sure. I'm down for that.
Dude, yeah, we could do that.
We could
That's
do it right
something.
after we record this podcast, even.
Probably not, considering it's already in the AMs.
We could do it. Or just play Yu-Gi-Oh! That seems like a better plan.
We could play Yu-Gi-Oh, or we could just schedule it
There'll
for
be
tomorrow.
something to schedule, like one of our streams and bring everybody in. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Bring everybody in.
So yeah, the moving process sucked. Actually, I think that might be it. I've been playing a shit ton of Overwatch, and I'm eagerly anticipating the update that should be coming today.
Yes, ranked
The
mode.
competitive update.
Yeah.
It should be great. Breathe some new life into the game. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos as per usual, a lot of Rooster Teeth content. Camp is a thing that came out while you were gone. I guess in between last podcast and this.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Camp is really good.
Yeah.
It's by far one of my favorite Rooster Teeth productions to come out in a long time. It's basically like,
Also,
if you haven't seen it, it's basically, think of a Disney show about camping, but then immediately make it better than a Disney show because they cursed and it's really good.
Like, the kids are actual kids, and kids, curse and whatnot.
The voice acting's pretty good. The main character, Miles, I think, who does it?
The main counselor
camper
guy? Yeah, that's Miles.
Yeah. His voice acting got really good comparative to, like, his first performance as Jacques.
John.
John, whatever the fuck.
D'Arc.
Whatever.
D'Arc.
Like, the difference in voice acting between then and now is amazing. That show, I really like it. There actually should be a new episode.
Mascot just got released. What's the schedule for release on Camp Epic anyway?
I have no fucking clue.
Hmm.
I think it's once a week.
Probably.
So, like, a few days. Either way, it's like a really good Disney show.
Another Rooster Teeth production that also came out. Day 5.
Oh, yeah, that came out. The first episode's free for everybody. The rest is sponsored. The first episode is 4 minutes, though.
Oh, you guys talking about Day 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I thought that was a joke.
What?
Like,
What
when
do you
I
mean
like
a joke.
Whatever.
Yeah,
like
I mean, I can see how
Achievement Hunter, like Rooster Teeth doesn't usually employ children, and so when I saw the Day 5 introducing this kid, I was like, this is some joke that they'd be doing. Like, I don't know, they haven't worked with kids. I mean, they have the Game Kids channel, but that's barely attached to Rooster Teeth, if at all. That's barely attached to Rooster Teeth, if at all. So, like, that exists. So, like, when I saw that, I thought Day 5 was a joke, and then I caught their live stream of it, and I was like, oh, it's not. It's
Yeah,
a
it's real.
full-fledged production that they're like.
Supposedly, it's been in development longer than Laser Team was.
It's been in
Yeah,
development
and-
for like 4 years, I think, because like back in 2012 there was a teaser with Joel on it, and then there was nothing
that
for
shot
a
they
long
did
time.
at that RTX.
Well, yeah, like if you caught like the live stream explains that like they've had ideas like doing something like Day 5, like Day 5. They've had like Day 5 has been in the works for like a really long time. They're just Rooster Teeth when Day 5 was like the idea came into being. Rooster Teeth was so small, it was just like, we can't do this right now.
Like, it's
We'll
not
keep it in, like-
feasibly possible.
It's not feasibly possible for us to do it in a fashion that would do it justice. And now that Rooster Teeth's big enough that they're just like, sure, we can
I
do Day
think
5.
Why the fuck
They're
not?
at 220 employees now. I know
Why the
they're
hell
over
would you know that?
200. Like, they talk about it on the podcast and whatnot. Like, they're over 200 employees at this point across like everything. I think.
Wow, and
Like,
only
they
like
even-
only like 20 of them are known.
I mean, yeah, they even have an uploader. Like, a person whose sole job is to upload and then probably put the descriptions on everything and tags and whatnot.
That's the worst part of uploading is putting the description.
Like, I know this because it was in an RT Life. Like, oh hey, this person is the uploader person.
I feel like that's a joke. It's not. You're not gonna physically pay a person to do that.
Oh wait, no, it was in the RT. I mean, considering the amount of videos that Rooster Teeth puts out across all their channels, I can see why they would want to have like one person whose sole job is to upload everything.
No, I don't see that being an actual feasible thing. Yeah, we're gonna pay one person to upload all the videos to all the respective places. Like, no, I don't like uploading a video to YouTube. It's just a simple. You just gotta make sure the file gets prepared and stuff. Maybe they can pay an editor to edit. That's cool, but like, you're not gonna pay a person to only upload videos. That's a one click, like an hour job, like max.
I mean, their job would be like to, like, how?
Why are we I mean, it's not that important, is it?
Not really,
Yeah,
but
I don't
job-
think that's a thing.
that job's kind of
I mean, really, it would probably be
Just doesn't
better
feel
if
like
each person who like produced the content uploaded it themselves individually. But I mean, I don't see an issue with having one person deal with all the uploads.
I see an issue in that they're while they're a decent sized, probably decent in like the bank as well, decent sized company. I don't feasibly see a way that they're like, we need one person to upload everything to our stuff. Like that's not a thing.
Hmm.
Like we have like we'll like take the achievement hunters. They record it, and then we have they record stuff, and they probably send it off to editors, which they themselves even edit sometimes. I think Jeremy's the only one that does it though.
I think Jeremy edits the Minecrafts now. I think it was originally
Yeah.
Gavin, and then it switched over to someone else. I forget who. Ryan? Maybe?
Yeah, like they like they're like they're self-productive. I feel like maybe like Jeremy edits the Minecrafts. Maybe he probably even uploads them. Probably edits them. Maybe runs it by like Jeff. Maybe even Lindsay. I guess now because I guess Lindsay's big boss.
Here's a question, just like, since we've all made videos, do you watch like the entire video once you've edited it?
I watched the entire video while I'm editing it.
But like afterward?
Like after it's all fully edited.
Yeah, like quality control.
Oh,
If I do, then it's on like 2x speed. To like just get through
I
it.
actually, usually I'll watch through the whole thing just to make sure things work. Especially since I can then look through and it's like, okay, should I make an edit here or should I add anything here after the fact? Usually it doesn't end up happening, but sometimes it has been known to, like, it has helped.
Like most of the time for me, it doesn't come up where like, alright, I need to watch back through this entire thing, because I usually catch like whatever I have to edit like the first time through. Usually. Not always.
Well, still going off on side tangents.
I think we finished up with that.
I think there's
wait,
only another one thing.
Back to day 5 real quick.
wait, back. No, the editing thing. I never got my 2 cents in.
Oh, alright, go ahead.
The thing is, the thing is, I barely edit at all. Legitimately, everything currently on my channel is basically nearly purely unedited.
Like you sync up the audio to the video and then go?
That, and I also cut out the beginning silence because I'm paralyzed internally, and then I cut out whatever I can of the end when I say goodbye.
The basic edits.
I cut off as much as I can. Yeah, very, very basic rudimentary editing.
That's fine. Do you plan to actually upload anything at all? Now that it's summer?
I would. Yes. If I can, like, I guess now that's here. I really want to get 2 monitors to start doing that.
Hell yeah.
Because currently the computer in my room that I'm probably going to use for doing that, for making videos, only has the 1 monitor, and I would like to monitor the recording software while I'm doing stuff.
Make sure nothing's going awry.
One way to do that is do you play games in full screen while you record?
Yeah, for the most part.
One way to get around that is just to not play it in full screen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the second
Like
monitor is already.
if I don't trust the game I'm playing to like if I feel like it's gonna do something weird with the thing, I just fucking put it on full screen.
You still keep
Now,
the resolution at 1920 by 1080 though, right? To get the full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the second monitor is already here though, so.
Oh, sweet.
Oh well,
Like
there you
a
go.
second monitor is so
Well,
useful for so many things. I think.
Like, I just need to put it in. I just need to attach it. I
All
just
right.
need to connect it to my computer, and then figure out a home for my PlayStation 2. Because it's in the way, and to figure out a home for my shark.
I think the upper limit of monitors that where it stops becoming useful is 3. Like 1 is fine, 2 is like the perfect spot to be in, 3 is okay, it's still good, but a little overboard, but 4 is just like, okay, you don't need this many. And then any more than 4 is just like, whoa.
10 monitors or bust, motherfucker.
Like,
Oh,
I've
dude.
seen people with like 6 monitors who stream, and they just have chat on one, like Twitch alerts on another, and like game on one, stream on one, like, and then the last one isn't used at all. Yo, dude.
Like, I feel
could-
like if you're gonna go beyond like 3 monitors, I feel like the one of the only ways to make this worth it is if you could surround yourself in like a sphere of monitors.
Oh, like the World God Only Knows guy? Yeah.
So
I
that
highly
way,
doubt that's what he's thinking.
wherever you look, there's information, and you're like, yes.
Oh, you put a swivel chair in the middle and you just spin around and watch all of it. Oh, that'd be great.
And there's
Just
keyboards
like-
everywhere, so you constantly spinning around and pressing things. Like you're playing 3 MMOs at once.
3
Like,
MMOs, an
I feel
RPG, a platformer, all good.
I feel like if you're ever gonna go beyond 3, you better go for the full spear. There's no point in anything. There's no real point in anything else. I just want to get the 2 monitors so that way I can have the recording software on one, game on the other. I just don't know what I'm gonna play. Although I should probably start Zeta again.
That's the thing, yeah.
I should probably start Zeta again, and my library has grown exponentially. Might even grow even a little more because, I'm not exactly broke, so it's not like
But you're saving up for something.
I'm
Yeah,
saving
Sun
up. I'm saving up for Sun and Moon, but it's not like, if I see something on the summer sale that I want to get, and it's like $10 or less, I'll be like, sure, I'll buy that because I actually do have an allowance of $10 a week, so. And Sun and Moon's a little ways off, so I can afford to spend like $10 a month.
Yeah.
Buying random shit. Like I brought the E3 ticket bundle thing from Humble Bundle, that thing.
Huh.
Which didn't come with much, but
There was a good amount of stuff. There was a good amount of stuff on there.
yeah, there was stuff. I haven't. That's the thing. I just got it, and I'm like, and all this stuff is actually I don't really care for much of it. Now I think about it, $10 sort of well spent, I guess.
But
I mean,
it's
it gets
so
you into-
cheap that it doesn't even matter.
It gets you into a it's cheap. Gets you into a beta. Gives you 40 chests.
What beta?
For the Super Senso beta. You can get it on the iPhone App Store, but it's not available for Android yet. But you can get into the beta for that. You can get 40 chests for a very, very annoying card game on your phone called Pathfinder's Adventures.
Yeah.
And a bunch of Steam games. Pathfinder's Adventures, by the way, is an absolutely horrible phone game. It's like
I'll take your word for it.
the difficulty of it is basically like let's take Dark Souls, but instead of you playing the game, we'll just replace everything with the D&D system of dice roll.
It's fun.
So it's just infinitely luck based, and it's annoying because here's how it works. You start a mission, and your mission is to get the boss. And this is literally, I don't know if there's any variation of it because I only got to the first mission in the game. Your goal is to get the boss, and the first mission has 3 locations, and if you defeat the boss in one location, you close the location, but the boss escapes to the 2 other locations that are open. So effectively, if your luck is bad, you have to beat him 3 times. If you're good, you only have to beat him the once after closing the 2 other locations.
Okay.
What sucks is it's all dependent on dice roll, and so it's like it's all dependent on D&D dice roll. So it's like, especially since like your life is your deck, because they were too lazy to implement a life system. Your life is your deck. When you take damage, you're forced to discard cards from your hand.
What
Why?
the fuck? That's a horrible mechanic.
It is. When you take damage, you're forced to discard cards from your hand, and then at the end of your turn, you draw cards to fill your hand. And how you lose the game is you don't have any cards left in your deck to draw. And so when you start with only 20 cards and enemies do 4 damage when you basically have a coin flip to defeat them, it's kind of not a very good game, honestly. Absolutely really bad. It's just like, maybe I win, maybe I don't. Like, there's stuff you can do, but there's only so much you can do before you're just overwhelmed to the point where you're just like, I'm losing this fight. It's so hard.
Like, Hearthstone is also pretty RNG based, but there's at least a degree of skill to like, okay, he's probably gonna play this or this, you know.
Yeah,
while
there's interaction of you playing around.
Yeah. While
like,
in Pathfinder, it's just like, oh, I'll use this card to play around that card. Oh, I discard that card? Fucking great. Now I can't play around that card. Great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's not a good mobile game. And 40 free chests isn't going to get you everywhere because, I don't know, their deck edit system is fucked because open the 40 chests and I have the cards, just can't use them. And I'm just like, well, fuck you too.
Mm-hmm.
And Super Senso is pretty meh as well.
Hey, hold on, let me just finish this. I have one. Actually, well, I think that's.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been playing fucking Overwatch, and that's it. That's the end of my week.
All right. So we are now at the 2.5 hour mark. Anime homework.
Hey, Chris, how's your week?
He already did his week.
Did he? No.
I passed it on to YouTube.
Oh, right. You were talking.
He's
about
just
the
been
Philippines.
talking about a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Next, go over your week.
Oh.
Well, Chris, go ahead.
I didn't really do too much, to be honest. There wasn't much I did. I got that E3 ticket bundle. The most I did was I started training a Pokemon team in Heart Gold because the family member that I play Yu-Gi-Oh with also likes to play Pokemon against me.
Ooh.
He doesn't want to use the effort value system. He also doesn't care for natures either. He just takes he's just like, all right, got the Pokemon I want, now to train it to level 100 with zero regard for everything about getting it to its max potential.
But what about IVs?
No, he doesn't care about those either. He just gets whatever Pokemon he wants.
What does IV stand for again? I forget.
Inherent values.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care for those either since I'm not looking to go super competitive, but, you know, I will in order to basically ensure all my victories against him at least make sure my Pokemon have decent inherent values. They don't need to be perfect. I'll go for the best. I'll take the best of whatever I make, but I'll get the right nature and the right effort values and the right move set to win. Right now, I am training up a baton pass team.
Ooh, I like it.
Where the entire point of this team is to use the move baton pass, which passes along all your status and stat changes. And so the entirety of my chain is just Pokemon with stat boosting moves and some utility moves. Like,
little do you know, your friend, the family member, is making a fucking anti-baton pass team, putting down spikes and shit.
yeah, no, that could be an issue.
Stealth rocks.
He's not doing that. He is training a legendary team.
Ooh.
Just because, like, for the longest time when we were fighting, I only had the legendaries at level 100, and he had Pokemon at level 100, and so he would want to fight. And so, in order for me to put up any degree of fight, I had to use my I had to use my legendary Pokemon. And so he got kind of fed up with that, because like he would train up his Pokemon to like level 100, and he'd be like, yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna finally beat him. And then friggin', oh, guess what? It's Dialga, motherfucker. Have fun. So I beat him with legendaries. Eventually, I trained up a good amount of regular Pokemon. They're not any specific sort of Pokemon. No, they're all just, most of them are just basically attacking Pokemon. I have like two utility Pokemon, and then most of them fall into either the physical attacking or the special attacking category. So yeah, my Baton Pass team entirely just used Baton Pass to get all the stats up, and then I pass to my first
sweeper
member of the team. The first offensive member of the team, because I would have liked to do traditional baton pass, where I have 5 Pokemon that are just there for passing shit, and then I have a final receiver. But you know, I like to have insurance. So one of my Pokemon that is also a baton that is carrying baton pass and bulk up is Blaziken.
Ooh.
And so he's going to be the first guy I baton pass most of my boosts to. And he'll do what he can, but if he can't do anything, and I can save it with Espeon, who
before you get fucking like triple critted and you lose it instantly.
I would be.
There
so
aren't
sad.
any triple crits in Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon.
Hydro Pump crit.
Yu-Gi-Mons.
The Digi Data Spies.
So, the only other offensive baton passer, or slightly offensive baton passer I have, is Espeon, who will be packing Psychic. The final receiver of the team, though, is Kingdra, which is... I thought Kingdra was a decent Pokemon, and then I looked at Kingdra, and I went, well, shit.
What's so bad about Kingdra?
None of it. I don't think any of his stats break 100.
What's so bad about that?
It's really helpful if he has stats that break 100. Yeah, no, none of his stats break 100. They only go to 95. But this is talking about base stats, so not like level 100 stats, but they're base stats. So he's not a very good Pokemon, and I immediately regretted my decision. But I don't have to stick with him. I can legitimately use any other offensive Pokemon I train. I just want I'll just continue to trade him, although he kind of sucks. He's pretty much the worst guy. He's even though he's the end game, he's the one that should sweep the opponent's team. He's been really bad at doing anything about being an offensive Pokemon.
That's
so
why.
close on.
That's why you use Dragon Knight.
Yeah, no, I have a Dragonite and a Garchomp and
Oh.
a Tyranitar and a Tyranitar.
All of those are better than Kingdra. Use them.
I have so many. I even have offensive special attack Pokemon. If I so, Kingdra's a special. My Kingdra's a special attacker.
Hmm.
I even have a offensive special attack Pokemon like Starmie and Napoleon I could use instead. All of which are infinitely better than Kingdra. But I am like.
So, fun fact, I also have a Kingdra. Mine is a hybrid between physical and special attack.
Yeah, like as
Cause
soon
why
as I
not?
saw that Kingdra, like I set on Kingdra because he was a special attacker, and I was like, you know what? I have Blaziken, who has decent stats, and even if I don't invest, he'll be able to do some decent damage. So I'll see what I can get in the realm of special attackers. So I was like, Kingdra seems pretty good for that role. And I looked at Kingdra and I was like, oh, he can learn Dragon Dance.
There you go.
No, he's still a special attacker. He's not even going to learn Dragon Dance. What my Kingdra's actually going to do is he's going to be the critical king, even though he's going to have +6 in every stat. Gotta go for them crits. He gets an ability called Sniper.
Oh.
It's the lesser used of his two abilities. The other is Swift Swim, which is infinitely better.
Yeah.
Sniper turns the crit damage bonus from double to triple.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, I can put a scope lens on him, which increases his critical hit ratio, and he learns focus energy, which increases his critical hit ratio. So
There's 6 stages of like amount of crit chance you can get, right? If I'm not mistaken.
that's
And
stats. You're thinking of stats.
Oh, 6 stages of
Each-
stat boosts.
There's 6 stages of stat boosts unless their evasiveness has, I think. I don't think evasiveness has 6. I think it has this like slight. I think it has like maybe like 8. But I want to get. He's gonna be the critical king, even though he's the end receiving of the baton pass chain. Which, now that I think about it, he doesn't need focus energy and scope lens. Might as well just slap a mystic water on him just to boost his hydro pump.
Yeah, that would work
Insane
pretty
levels.
well.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. I only have one member. I only have one member at level 100 currently. That's Umbreon. Only Umbreon's at level 100. And his role, actually it's her Umbreon's role in the baton pass chain is there's 2 roles. First and foremost role is taunt. Not gonna get anything now, are you? And then he also has yawn for lulz.
Yawn. Can't it learn hypnosis?
No, it can't learn hypnosis, and also hypnosis has shit accuracy.
True, but still yawn? Like, I mean, it forces your opponent to switch
wait, no,
out,
not-
but still.
Oh no, wait, he has a 3rd role too. He also has mean look.
Oh, okay, that makes it a lot
no.
better.
Oh no, he has. No, wait. See, hold on. What's my set? I think. No, he can't carry all those moves. He has to have baton pass. I know he's gonna have baton pass, substitute, mean look, and I think yawn. I don't think he has taunt. Huh. Something. Fun. We're gonna put it down. Nope. Baton pass, mean look, taunt, and yawn.
Okay.
Oh, he's not gonna. He doesn't have. Oh, he doesn't even have sub. Huh. No, baton pass, mean look, taunt, and yawn. Man, that's gonna be annoying as hell when I start using him. God, which one do I go for first? Do I make my opponent stay? Do I make them not use any status moves? Do I force them to sleep? Decisions.
Plenty of things you can do.
Do anything else this week? Besides your baton passing?
Baton pass. I switched furniture around in rooms, and now my PS2 is out and plugged in. I was gonna play it on Friday, didn't get to playing it on Friday. No, not much else has happened. Not much else has really happened.
All right.
Right before we get onto the anime homework, something I noticed recently is that I'm starting to get definition. Like, I've been working out like 4 or 5 times a week, and I've really, like, apparently I've lost like 50 pounds. I don't notice it at all. Like, to me, I look the same as I did when I started to, like, lose weight. But now is, like, the first time I actually notice, like, I'm starting to get some definition. Like, especially on my arms, like, I can start seeing, like, the actual, like, bicep muscle form. And it's not just, like, a blob. It's, like, actual definition. And especially when I flex, it actually, like, bulges out, which I don't think has ever been like that before.
Work out, kids. It's healthy.
Yeah, at least I find that's interesting anyway. Losing weight, yeah.
All right.
Definition, yeah. Anime homework, yeah. Do-ra-da-da. So.
No, I'm still watching.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to point this out. You kind of cheated.
I did?
Technically speaking, we recommend a show. You recommended a series.
Do-da-da-da is a show? What? What do you mean it's a series?
Yeah, it's a well, you said da-ra-ra-ra, but you never really specified.
When I mention a show, I mean like all of it.
That's not
it's
really
legitimately two. It's legitimately just 2 seasons. It's legitimately just 2 seasons. Just the second season has to be split into 3 parts.
Yeah. Anyway,
I thought it was worth mentioning.
The first one I officially won, besides Log Horizon, which is technically not official, but whatever. I have watched the series now 4 times. The first time was on Adult Swim when it was airing. The second time was when the last episode was going to come out on Adult Swim. I was like, alright, I want to rewatch through it real quick, so I did that online. The third time was when X2 was initially coming out. Well, when X210 finished airing, I watched through it again, and then I was like, oh, Ketsu's not out. Damn it. And so I waited till Ketsu's out, and then recommended it for the anime homework, and this is now the 4th time I'm watching through the entirety of Do-Da-Da-Da. Officially the most times I've watched through a single anime series. And I still don't get tired of it. I think it's either my favorite or tied for my favorite anime of all time. Because no matter how many times I watch it, it never gets old to me. Like, I still find the same conversations interesting. So, Do-Da-Da-Da is about the city known as Ikebukuro. It's a somewhat small city, but there's a lot of interesting people in the city, which the show focuses on and delves into. And there's not a single character.
Gang Wars.
We'll get to that. There's not a single character in Do-Da-Da-Da I don't find interesting. Like, all of them have something going on, or have some aspect about them that's interesting. Like,
I can. What about the suicide girl in the beginning that we see for like one episode?
Yep.
She goes to commit suicide, and the second episode she just happens to be with the one
Miss
guy's
Macinda?
girl. I don't know her name.
Her
She's
name's
the
Miss
suicide
Macinda.
girl.
Yes.
She was like, hey, I want to commit suicide. Let's meet up and make a joint suicide.
Yes, her name's
She wanted
Miss
to commit
Macinda.
suicide. She was kidnapped. Celty saved her, and then she showed up in like a couple like little appearances here and there, and then the next actual plot relevance she had was she happened to be hanging out with the ladies' man's
Rochi.
girlfriend.
Rochi's girl, yeah.
Do you find her interesting?
Rochi's girl?
No, not Rochi's girl. The bloody suicide girl.
Miss
Who had 2
Basinda.
parts.
Yes, because of how she interacts with her
Come
family. Yes! Like, I really, like... I'm not gonna say I like every character in Durarara. I find every character interesting in Durarara, which I think is better than having everyone be likable.
Get like that.
Sorry, what?
Why do you say it like that?
What do you mean, why do I say it like that?
Oh, it's really weird. You say it like do la 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 almost.
No, Durarara.
Just do ra ra ra. You say it really fucking oddly.
I do?
Yeah!
I don't know. I say Durarara. Is there an issue?
You say the ra's really weird, yeah.
Durarara. What's wrong with that?
Everything.
No, what? Durarara. I don't see an issue with saying it.
Not gonna change, it's just weird.
Okay, sure. But yes, I find every character interesting. Like, while every character is not likable, every character is at least interesting. Like, Kazutano.
Russian black dude.
He sucks.
Simeon. I know. Kazutano, I don't like very much, but I still find him interesting.
You say it like you're talking about a fucking wine.
What, Kazutano?
No, it's just like you're saying everything about the show like you're talking about a fine wine. You add like a weird accent to it.
I mean, because the show's really good and I really like it. Like,
that doesn't warrant the weird accent.
I don't know that I'm doing a weird accent. I don't think I am anyway.
I think it might be talking about Kazutano's accent. He's weird.
Oh, Kazutano, yeah. Like, Kazutano's not much of a likable... I mean, he has a pudgy aspect to him, but he's not much of a likable character. But he's interesting because...
What did you guys watch it in, before we go any further?
Dub.
That mean?
Dub? Alright, cool. I watched it in dub as well.
Because it's probably the best dub I've ever heard.
I watched it primarily in sub.
The only thing I had to watch in sub were like the specials that weren't dubbed. Did you guys watch the specials?
Yeah, I did. They're great.
We have the
like
did not.
We have they don't add much. Well, they add like the hot pot one where they're like talking about how characters got introduced. Like that one adds to the story.
Yeah.
The one where Shinra and Celti go on their misadventure in like the mountains and they like meet werewolves, which aren't werewolves. Like, I fully expected that to just be an actual episode in itself.
It very much could have been.
It very much could have been because the last four episodes were all just recounts of that same day. Like,
yeah.
Hey, look, this day's happening. You get to see some starter events, and then we're gonna go straight into one person. Then we'll move to the next and the next, and it's like, fuck you.
Like, another aspect of Durarara that I really like is its masterful storytelling. Like, it's able to weave each character into each other, and how, like, by coincidence, they happen to be here at that moment, but it's able to get to that moment in a logical manner that isn't like the plot needs them to be there, so they're gonna be there. Like, there's a reason they're there and not just like, oh, plot.
Plot or plot?
Plot, not plot. Which, by the way, I didn't notice any fan service in the show. Like,
there isn't.
Festu.
There isn't.
Which is
no, it's barely there. There's one point that I just actually recently saw. When Erica's describing cosplay.
Okay, yeah.
And it switches to the shot of her in 3 different suits.
Okay, yeah. But that's more of a Erica sees her in that way, so it's understandable.
Yeah. And then there's the one part where, again, with Erica and cosplaying, you have Henri in that suit.
Oh, yep.
Other than that, there's like nothing else. Not much.
I think my favorite special was the one with Izaya's sisters in it. Which, by the way, those two are awesome. Izaya's
Sure.
sisters. I mean, like, the entire Orihara family is great. As well as Shizuo Heiwajima.
You know, there's a weird phenomena about Durarara with me. I can't remember anything fucking about it. It just does not leave an impression on me at fucking all. Like, this show, it's kind of boring to me, actually. I just don't get it. It's like a show I should like, but it's just doesn't leave an impression at all.
It is so slow paced, which I didn't realize till this like last rewatch through.
It's slow paced and
like a lot of the
you
show is conversation.
You don't see everything coming, but you know, you basically know what's going on after like the first few episodes. You basically know everything you need. You basically know everything you need to know by the end of the first few episodes. like Izaya is the guy behind the scenes, just he's like the puppeteer. He's just kind of making things happen, and then things happen, and he just kind of laughs, and it's like, great. That's fine.
Yep. Like, it sets up the baseline for the show. Like, okay, these are all the characters that other characters are going to be interacting with. And then they introduce all the other characters and have them interact with the main characters. Well, main, quote unquote. Because, really, there's not a main character. Like, technically it's Mikado, but at the same time, many episodes, like, very seldomly actually show Mikado. And it actually, doesn't even mention him in some episodes. Like, if I would have to say the main thing, it's Ikebukuro is the main character, because it's really about the city of Ikebukuro and the people who reside in the city. And what goes on in Ikebukuro. Gangs, demonic blades, headless riders, strongest people in the world, Russian mafia, Yakuza, college clubs gone awry, I think those are the main, things that happened in the show. Anyway, back to I don't have any gripes about... Okay, I have one tiny gripe,
It's slow.
No, I like the slow nature. During Verona's, first appearance about her backstory, for some reason, the animation there is really choppy. It does, freeze frames of, a person walking in, here's 1 second, skip a lot of frames, next second, skip a lot of frames, next.
I mean, the animation, for the most part, it's good, but it's very easy to pick apart in certain places. This looks super off.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to pause here. Don't pause here.
The animation gets its job done, and in the fight scenes, they punch it up a bit. But, and that's good, because the fight scenes are so few and far between. They better make them good. 90 to 95% of this show is conversation. If you don't like that, then this is probably not the show for you. But if you like conversations, then you are gonna love this show. Keep talking, somebody.
I don't know. Really, I remember, key points in the show, especially from the first season. I never watched the second season. Everything else is just, a blur of shit that happens.
Another good thing is that each episode has a different narrator.
Yep.
The story is told, everything is happening after the fact. You're seeing, somebody is telling you a story of what's happening in Ikebukuro. And it's from whoever character's perspective. Like, for instance, Izumi, who calls everyone an asshole, even the viewer, tells everyone that they're an asshole as the narrator, and it adds personality
best one.
Yeah. Like,
best narrator.
Yeah.
Look at these assholes. Look at these assholes.
You see that guy? He's an asshole.
Best narrator. Everyone's ass.
Yeah. He's pretty good. Most characters stay relevant for more than just their first episode that they appeared. Like, Miss Masenda became relevant again after a while. Like, it shows that, like, all the characters have a place in the show. All the characters know what they're doing or have a purpose. And, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. The show's really good at foreshadowing as well. Like, in the first episode, Ruri Hijuribe is in the train station walking by Mikado and Masaomi, which I found really surprising because I didn't notice that she was there like any of the other times. Also, Izaya's sisters are on episode 8, like walking around in the background. In episode 12, I think it was, Izaya first, like, talks, well, not first talks, Izaya talks to Mikado and says, like, you know, he says something about, oh, you have to keep evolving to get out of the boredom. And earlier in, like, episode 8, like, Mikado's already gotten used to the weird by, like, the Headless Rider he's already used to already. Like, in the first, like, few episodes, whenever he heard, like, the Headless Rider's bike would go or whatnot, he would run off to see, like, oh, where's the Headless Rider? I want to go see it. But on episode 8, he hears the Headless Rider, but he doesn't actually go see it because he's like, yeah, whatever. It's just the Headless Rider. So it's good at foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I think my favorite quote in the show is, she's flat-chested and prepubescent. Walker said that, by the way.
Good quote.
Yes, very.
Everything you could have picked.
Yeah.
Are you watching the anime homework?
He is! That's Izumi! Like, all the characters in Durara are great. Like, the entire show's great. Like, besides the animation sometimes being a bit subpar, like, all the voice acting, all the character interactions, the plot, like, and all the supernatural stuff just weaving together to create this amazing, like, sequence of episodes is great. I loved it. 10 out of 10.
I can't remember anything about it because it bores me. 6 out of 10.
Alright. Chris?
What?
Rating for Durarara.
Oh, rating?
Mm-hmm.
7 out of 10. Slow pace. Sometimes you can pick apart the animation like easy. Sometimes you can pick apart the animation like easy. Yeah, the characters are, for the most part, are interesting. It's just the only thing that sucked is in the end when Izaya gets the Izaya squad up and running, like we don't get any explanation for any of like any of them.
Oh yeah.
We never get any explanation for them. Like,
okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Like
most of the time in the show, it's just like, oh look, a new character got introduced. Time to take the entire episode and dedicate it to them.
Like, they alluded to the dragon zombies and like each person in there, but like a couple episodes later, or once it gets to like Ketsu, like most of them are just gone, which like that wasn't handled very well, I admit. All right, cool.
All right.
So
So-
I don't recommend anything this week because I won. Yay.
As per the new system.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Chris,
What's up?
what did you want to recommend this week?
Oh wait, Nick won. Nick. Oh, good. It comes down to Nick this week.
Ah,
God
ah.
damn it.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird how this works now, but yeah, it should still work.
Considering there's
No,
only
at-
3 of
at
us
least,
here.
At least this is in my favor. At least this is a fair fight, though. Nick will fly for basically anything.
I will swing either way as long as it's not Girls Bravo.
As long as it's not girls.
Damn.
But like
Damn!
The
you
fuck
had your
did you
chance.
link?
You had your chance the last time we met up, Dominic.
Don't worry.
TLDR.
Next week.
Oh, Lily Pichu.
Yeah.
Uh,
She was TLDR, which is too long to read, and she started doing Overwatch ones.
Oh,
I
sweet.
thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah.
And
we
we're
all
gonna
know
make her
what
a
TLDR
permanent.
means.
Some people don't.
I don't know. I see that shit a lot on the Yu-Gi-Oh subreddit.
Too long didn't read, it's overpowered.
Too long. No, that was the time when it's like people want to tell their life story when like it's like, come on, dude, we just want to know about certain things.
It all started when my mother gave birth. It's TLDR, this Yu-Gi-Oh card's pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice,
TLDR
nice.
Yu-Gi-Oh card's pretty good. Like, what the fuck?
Alright, so
So what are you recommending?
go on.
Deflect to you.
Counter deflect.
Counter.
Damn. I had nothing else face down. Don't know. I was thinking, like, it's been a little weird because I've been winning so much, I'm actually running out of shit. So I kind of wanted to recommend Mara and Nikki because I've forgotten everything about this show, and I know Nick hasn't seen it.
I have not.
So Mara and Nikki's fun. English name Future Diary. It's about a fucking, basically a kid who has an imaginary friend called Deus, who is the god of fucking time and space and whatnot. And this imaginary friend gives him a phone that allows him to predict the future. But then he comes to realize he's not the only one with a phone like this. And then shortly after realizes he's now in a death game with everyone fighting to be the next god of fucking time and space. So yeah, it's really good. I don't remember anything about like the second half of the fucking show, but I remember the first half is really good.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's it.
Alright.
Nowhere to deflect now, Chris.
Chris, what do you recommend?
So you got Future Diary. That's cool.
Yep.
Future Diary is nice and interesting. But I need to recommend something in order to throw up a fight. Fuck.
Well, I'm gonna admit I did not have an anime to recommend until like 10 minutes ago.
Don't worry, I don't have an anime to recommend till give me a minute. Till give me a minute.
Alright.
You should
Oh.
recommend.
When is
Oh.
Give Me a Minute o'clock?
Dude, didn't that
Beogia.
fucking end, like 5 seconds ago.
What? Is it an anime this season?
Fuck yeah! All right, we'll go with this one.
Mhm.
We got this one because I'm lazy. Space Patrol Luloco.
Ooh!
What?
Did that finish
What?
its run?
It did finish its run.
Okay. Ooh.
Space
It did
what?
finish done. It's by Trigger,
Ooh.
and I'm gonna read
Wait,
a-
what's its name?
Space. I'll type it in chat.
Space Patrol Luloco. It's by Trigger, so you know it's gonna be something.
I don't know what Trigger is. What the fuck is that art?
They were the dudes behind Kill la Kill.
So, base.
Is that
I-
right? Am I right there? Please.
I'll check in a second. Hang on.
I thought they had a show called Trigger, but I don't. Oh, maybe their name is Trigger.
behind Kill la Kill, right?
So the way it's been described
Oh,
to
no.
me, Kill la Kill.
Hold on. They were behind Kill la Kill?
Yes, by Trigger. Yes.
Yes!
The way Space Patrol Luluco has been described to me is, it's the, it's basically like, you know the, what's main chick's friend's name?
I don't know. Hold
What?
on. So here's the plot.
Wait, what?
Here's the
In Kill la
plot
Kill?
from.
Yeah,
No, here's main.
Mako?
Mako.
Mako.
Yes, it's basically, you know the like,
Dude, Mako goes to space.
basically
If
yes.
Mako from Kill la Kill had a level-headed sister, it would have been Lyoko or whatever the fuck.
Alright,
the art
so
style is similar to
here's the-
Panty and
here's the plot-
Stocking.
Here's the plot blurb from Wikipedia, because that's a fun site. Luloko is a 13-year-old girl who. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go to the myanimelist.com because that's semi better.
I have the fucking definition right here. Or the
Alright,
summary.
This is gonna be difficult.
Living in abnormal existence OG Kubo, an intergalactic melting pot of humans and aliens, as well as the only space immigration zone on Earth. Luloko is a bubbly middle school girl who just wants to be normal. However, her father, who works at Space Patrol, eats a volatile sleep capsule by mistake and is frozen solid. And to make matters worse, Luloko breaks him and hurries to his office for help. And there, the chief hires her. And yeah, I guess
There, the
she
chief of
gets
Space
hired.
Patrol over Justice hires Lyoko as a space temp worker for undercover investigations. How does that connect at all?
I don't know at this point.
So that the
It's
institution
by
they crack down on crime in her school? What?
It's by Trigger, so you know it's gonna be over the top, crazy, and everywhere. I know there was I know one episode there's a nod to Kill la Kill, and I know during the end credits there's also a nod to the next anime series they're doing. called
Drugs
Little
him into
Witch
this
Academia.
production. Art style is similar to Panty and Stocking. And yep.
And then
Anime-
the ending.
Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. We get it, Trigger. You partially made Gurren login. You don't have to keep reminding us.
No, they made Gurren. Yeah. So
Luluco's
then-
like 7 minutes on each episode, right? Am I
I don't
mistaken?
fucking know.
I know it's a
I just
shorter
found-
show.
I just found it out. I just was looking around. I had one anime in mind, but I just decided against recommending that one. And I was like, I know Space Patrol Luloko ended, and it's by Trigger, and Kill la Kill was cool. So I recommend that. See if I get anywhere.
All right. So this thing is 13 episodes. I don't know how long it is each episode.
Oh, this is hard. This is really hard.
It's
How
not too
long
hard.
is one?
Wait, Dominic, you've seen Future Diary, right?
I've seen it, but that was like fucking years ago. I don't remember anything about it. So yeah.
Nick, didn't you
technically.
watch Future Diary recently?
I
There's
have
also
not.
Future Diary
Ever.
Redial. I don't know what Redial is.
I think that was
Supposedly-
the second season.
Yeah, I never watched that. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I've watched all of Mirai Nikki. I watched it and then Redial, and there might have been a
Redial is
special.
an
I don't think I watched
OVA.
that.
What?
Oh.
Redial is a
Wait.
25-minute.
Oh, wait. No, yeah, I remember that. It's in yeah.
There's
I
a
believe
dub
so.
and a sub.
I've never watched Future Diary, by the way.
Future Diary.
Okay.
Future Diary is how many episodes? 26 plus the OVA. Dub and sub. Basically, do you want to watch a comedy or do you want to watch a weird, like, psychological shit?
Yeah.
How the fuck it's left down to one person?
Like, both those shows are really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Alright, fuck it. Coin flip time.
Oh boy. What's
kidding
heads,
me?
what tails?
Okay.
Alright.
I mean,
Heads.
they're basically even.
Heads is Mirai Nikki. Tails is Space Patrol
We should-
Luluco.
No, we should do this in like roll 20, so we know you're not bullshitting. You
Why would he
bullshit all you
lie?
want.
He
I
wants to
have no
watch
reason-
them equally. Why the fuck would he lie?
Yeah.
He has no reason to not. He has no reason to lie. He has no reason not to lie.
All right.
Therefore, but that's basically saying it's the same thing as a coin flip, so it doesn't matter either way.
All right. Heads is.
Just flip a fucking coin.
Yeah, I know. Heads is Mariah, Nikki. Tails is Luluko. Zach, fell on the ground. Hang on.
Wow.
Might as well just flip it again.
Did it slip into a crack and is now completely fucking on its side?
It landed heads. Mariah, Nikki. It is.
All right,
And
then.
it's not the end to World God Only Know. Wait, no. What the fuck am I
What?
talking
Yeah,
don't know.
that is
I'm
the end
finding-
of the world God only knows.
about? There's just a coin on its side.
That would be no game, no life, motherfucker.
I know. Mariah, Nikki won, by the way.
Cool.
All right, there we
Hey.
go.
I have
And
good
I don't
RNG, I
have to.
guess. Yeah. Have you ever watched Redial?
I think I watched Tree Dial.
I have never watched Redial, so I'm curious, and I'm just gonna watch through it again because I want to. And plus, I don't remember anything about like the last half of the show, so there's that.
I'm fairly sure I watched Tree Dial. I know. I'm not. Hold on. Oh God. There's. Nope. That's the wrong. Is that the wrong folder? No, that's not the wrong folder. I already watched.
Anyway, you keep a folder too. Good gosh. You should probably
Nope,
start
I
wrapping
watched
it
Tree
up.
Dial. I watched Tree Dial. Just kidding.
All right.
JK. I've watched it all. Oh shit.
Last up, we got the what's it called? The fanfic.
Fanfic.
Screen. Yeah.
How much more of this
What?
do we actually have?
We are currently on.
The other thing we have left is fanfiction ring that we have to do, and then we can fuck off.
No. Let's see. We just finished with 9, so we are now on 10. We have
How many are there?
10, 11, 12, and then we're done with Rhinoceros.
Oh, we're actually close.
Mhm.
And then we got other shit like the Peter Chimera shit.
Oh, Chimera? Yeah. Which Paul's probably going to be on next week, so we can read one of those then.
So what are we
Alright.
doing?
I guess we're gonna do the fanfiction reading, then I think we'll fuck off. We spent like fucking 2.5 hours on weeks, so
Yeah. Let's see.
Ooh.
Alright. So, should I just read, or anyone else want to jump in?
I guess so.
Alright.
Just
I haven't read since the first one, and I'm perfectly content with that.
Alright then. Ruby, time. Ruby, Team Rhinoceros, Chapter 10, Truths and Lies. We were training
Ooh.
for the tournament. We were
Tournament?
tra-
Don't worry, we will find. Don't worry, we find.
Shut the fuck up. For those
I'm
of
not
you,
letting that.
for those of you who don't know, which is all of you.
No one knows. No
I
one.
know, I just said that. I flubbed up.
Don't worry, you find.
I flubbed up, and instead of saying in like one of our Warframe sessions, "We're fine," I said "we'll find," and now he's on my ass about it every time.
Don't worry, we'll find.
Uh-huh. We were training for the tournament, and I thought how messed up that loan shark was. Roman, Torchrick, and Reiner didn't know. Star, confident... Wait, am I... We were on chapter
What?
2, right? At
Yeah,
least I'm fairly certain we were.
I was confused about that first sentence.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if we are.
No, not like the context, like the actual fucking. No, we did. We saw this. We saw chapter 9.
Alright, there's supposed to be a comma there, basically.
Yeah,
Which it's not there, so...
do it, bitch.
Star, confident in me, but I told Reiner that I thought of him as a brother. I didn't know what to do or say. Then I got nicked by Harwin's bow. I tried to keep myself in training, but I remember her with those two twins Junior was hanging around him that Harwin seemed to hate greatly. What was going on? Ended up getting tackled
they're
by
training? What the fuck? It's like really bad. I don't know what this is saying.
No. It actually says in the thing. What was going on?
I'm just actually confused because like there's no the context of this is really weird, and then it's like completely grammatically incorrect as well.
And the sentence structure doesn't really follow a logical thing.
I'm confused right off the bat. So this is good.
Ended up getting tackled by one of the doppelganger wolves Star unleashed. We all went to the dorm and kept quiet until I spoke. Hey guys, we don't know much about each other's lives. Why don't we share? I said with
we know
a
that
smile
parents
on
are
my
dead.
face. Except they're not. Reiner and Harwin looked at me funny, but Star said, "Sounds good to me, Rye." Then Reiner and Harwin looked at her funny. So I'll go first. I wanted to become a hunter because I love adventure and fighting. I started out. Not to mention that I was going after Roman Torchwick for the death of my friend Mar.
What? Is this the first we're hearing about this?
It may have been mentioned in the first chapter, but it's been a long time since we've read through this. Since we read the first chapter. I'll go next. I wanted to be huntress for as long as I can remember. I think I want to be stronger than my brother, since it seems like he always protects me. Star spoke up. I didn't know that. You've gotten stronger, but I was born first, remember? Reiner told Star. You won't always be there, Reiner. You can't protect everyone, she said to him. I could have protected Dad if I was there, Star. Reiner getting angry. That's not what
this would have been the good point, maybe say your parents are dead. Not let's just randomly, oh hey, how are you? Yeah, my parents are dead.
Star worried. Reiner kept quiet after that, and Harwin took a couple breaths. I chose to be a huntress for one reason, and one reason only. Harwin spoke and became silent. May I ask what that reason is? Questioning her. She looked over us with murderous intent and said, to kill those twins that hang out with Junior, Militia, and Melanie. I took Reiner out for a moment because he seemed to have some seriousness on his face. Tell me what's going on with you. Something in you is eating you up. If you let it do that, there won't be much left of you to work out, I reassured him. Would you listen to my secret without telling anyone else? He asked me. What is it, Reiner? You can trust me. I know the loan shark that caused problems for my family, Roman Torchwick, is a no-good thug, and I want him dead. He said with the same bloodlust like Harwin. Why do you want to kill him? Let the authorities deal with him. I know I'd make sure he's locked up and throw away the key, I tell him. You don't get it. He's the worst, and people like that shouldn't live. Reiner still determined with his words. Then there's nothing I can do but hope you see through your blind judgment. We walked back, and the rest of the evening was quiet. After that, it seemed like there was some truths, but the lies were affecting our teamwork. We were in class jotting notes while Ryu and Star messaged. I think that's supposed to be Rai, but I think he ended up putting in you on there by mistake.
Ryu's just there, Hadouken.
Hadouken. Something was going on between the twins, yet I don't know what was going on. The training had suffered a bit. Violent chain! I shouted out. Star swung her sword. I did the same while shooting a buckshot. Then Reiner continued to fire and not let Harwin end it. Reiner! Reiner! I shouted as his machine guns whirred and the bullets were finally out. Yeah? He answered me. Reiner, you kept firing despite the fact that Harwin was supposed to finish up with her arrows after you. I forgot, Reiner said. You forgot? Ever since that day you've been lost, man. Let's just work together on this instead of going solo. I told him and held out my hand to shake. Reiner slapped my hand away and walked off. Harwin put his weapon back and left. Harwin's a guy? Oh, no. Harwin's putting Reiner's weapon back. Never mind. We're good.
Are you still watching anime homework, Chris?
Chris is, yes.
Possibly.
It's a good show. Both of them.
Listen, I want to finish it. I'm so close. I'm on the last episode.
Both
Did you
of
guys
them.
Did you guys finish the fan fiction reading?
No.
Is this really?
Both of them were both fixated on their personal bloodlust. I sat in the room of our dorm and waited for the others to come back. If we can share a common goal, maybe our team could be united again. Maybe putting Roman Torchwick and those twins that Harwin holds great hatred towards. I don't know what to expect, but we'll see how it turns out. That's when everyone walked in and they noticed me sitting on the end of my bed. I have a proposition for a team to get down to business. Just hear me out first, I started. I looked and saw all of their eyes on me. My friend Mar. She was my best
Shin.
friend. Huh?
Martian.
Who?
Last name was Shin. Shin. Martian.
Like, is she Asian?
Wow.
Shin?
Alright.
Oh!
Did you seriously not get that? What is wrong with you?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, Martian. Is she Asian?
You know, Shin. That's a common Asian last name, right? Right?
Martian, not Asian. That's from Asia, right? Oh, God.
How did I not get that? What the
Good
fuck
job,
is wrong with
fucker.
Okay. I don't know where it was. I have a proposition for our team to get
Mar.
down to business.
You were at Mar.
Just hear me out first, I started. I looked and saw all their eyes on me. My friend, Mar. She was my best friend. Just like her, you are all my best friends. Losing one of you would make me regret unable to be your leader. No. Your best friend, sang out to them. You don't understand, Ryan. I have plans of my own. Reiner spoke up. I
He
stood up
plans
and
to be the next John Cena.
and stared them down with an angry glare. No, you don't understand. Torchwick does deserve death. None of us can be the executioner because how could you live with knowing you killed another human being? Calming myself down, and I gripped my chest.
Wow, this man deserves to die, but none of us are willing to do it because of guilty consciences. What a fucking bunch of pussies.
Mar
What's happening?
was being forced to recruit for
Are we still
woman
continuing?
torture. Yes.
Yeah.
When she refused one day,
John
they
Cena.
came and kill her. I couldn't prevent her death, but I said to myself, Torchwick will get the death penalty for this. Everyone was quiet, and Harwin broke that silence, saying, The death of the twins would be good enough for me. I let out an exasperated sigh, but what they are sure of. Before we all went to bed, Reiner came over to me. You're not exactly the perfect brother. First time you called me that. What's on your mind, Reiner? Why was your friend being forced to be recruited? He asked. She could heal herself or others at will, I replied. That is a blessed semblance, he answered. Get some rest and take it easy. It's going to be a rough week for us. To be continued. What? TBC, to be continued. Yeah.
Alright. There we go. We're almost done with this fucking fanfiction.
2 chapters left, and then we're done.
Alright. I think that's it. I think we're good to go.
We've hit the
Fucking
3-hour, 28-minute mark. Yay.
Ow. Don't know as long as last time. Alright, so...
Wait, which
fucking...
last time? 17 or 16?
16.
Yeah. 4 hours, 37 minutes. Officially our longest podcast.
Alright, so plug your shit and get the shit out, I guess.
Alright. If you want to go to these guys' channels, it'll be in the description below.
If the links aren't broken...
They're not... They haven't been broken for a long time. What are you talking about?
They were.
At one point, yes, but not anymore. I fixed that a long time ago.
Yep, there we go. End podcast.
Yep, I'm gonna do that in just a second.
Kunai
Just a second.
What is this?
You had to get that in there, didn't you?
Kunai with chain. Kunai with chain.
Voldemort dies.
I'm not cutting out the Voldemort dies. You kidding me?
You're just in
It's
great.
Kunai with chain.
Oh, now you're catching on.
Oh, but
Chris.
watch this. Watch how bad his editing is.
Kunai with chain.
But
Kunai
is in Chirubi Chibi.
Yeah, they explicitly they have a
Did you-
message.
did you
I
see
believe,
the
in the
fu-
second
yeah.
one.
The fucking,
I saw that,
the closed captions. Fucking
Yeah.
beautiful.
yeah.
Closed caption. Yeah, this is.
It
not-
makes
this
that
is
joke 10
not
times funnier, realizing that she's actually looking at the screen and saying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Thank you all for watching. And I'm still
Kunai with
really
chain.
bad.
Hey, John
at
Cena.
out-
Final countdown.
You already ended.
No, I didn't. I didn't
Oh.
get it out. Thank
John
you.
Cena, final. Can't register. He can't register.
It is broken.
Kunai, 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 kunai with chain.
Anyone?
Kunai with chain.
Is there anyone whose name starts with P that didn't die?
Are you
Well, that's
trying?
yeah.
Are you trying to break the kunai counter? Because right now the record is
Kunai,
37.
kunai, 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 kunai with chain. Kunai, 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 kunai with chain. Kunai, kunai.
Is there any other spoilers I know of?
You just added a solid 20 minutes to my editing of this episode.
Highly doubtful. You can blanket that shit. Hell, you
No.
can just flat out cut that shit.
No, it's an individual kunai for each
Kunai with chain.
cut. Thank you all for watching. So we're bad. Okay, so I normally don't do this, but considering how dedicated Iggy was to just spoil everything and how funny it ended up being with spoilers in there, if you don't want spoilers for Ruby, just get off now. This is at the end of the video anyway, so leave, I guess. I don't know. So for all of you who want to hear the unedited Ruby spoilers, well, here you go.
Pure dies, penny dies, pure dies, penny dies, pure dies, penny dies, pure dies, penny dies, pure dies, penny dies.
Anyone
Yeah,
whose
get your arm
name-
cut off.
Is there anyone whose name starts with P that didn't die?
Are you
Well,
trying?
that's yeah.
Are you trying to break the kunai counter? Because right now the record
Pure
is
dies, penny
37.
dies, pure dies, penny 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 dies. Yang gets her arm cut off pretty brutally. Pure dies, penny dies, 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 pure dies. Yang gets her arm cut off. Pure dies, penny dies. Is there any other spoilers I know of?
You just added a solid 20 minutes to my editing of this episode.
Highly doubtful. You can blanket that shit. Hell, you
No.
can just flat out cut that shit.
No, it's an individual kunai for each
Pure dies.
cut. Thank you all for watching. So we're